Hi. Hi everyone. I'm back and um a lot of people wanted me to talk about the Kobe Bryant memorial service and just a lot of different things that are happening right now. So I thought I would kind of do a little combination and answer a few of the questions or the requests, So I named the video They Know What Time It Is, because we're seeing a lot of people in the media come to certain realizations, and we see a lot of things unfold before our eyes that probably most people haven't been noticing because they don't pay close enough attention to certain things. But since I've been posting a lot, I think a lot of people are, at least on this channel, are paying closer attention to certain things. So um I just hope that you start to see more as you know your consciousness grows. So they know what time it is. So we have, all the people, our celebrities making these speeches now, and we got Justin Bieber at, Sunday service singing with Kanye, never could have made it. We have Leonardo DiCaprio showing up to the awards. Hold on, I'm gonna bring up a photo to help honor, I guess, Jamie Foxx, the Black Film Awards. And I posted that. And we have, Rihanna's speech as well. So I think, and then we have this lady on a video claiming that she wants to have children with a melanated man, since that's the only way her offspring will survive. If y'all haven't seen this video, it's this one.
We're here with
Emily B.
Emily B. Where are you from, Emily?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. That's awesome. So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Okay. Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's a way for me to, make my legacy continue.
When it was exactly 33 seconds. Well, that's how long it took me to record it. So, a lot of people are doing the research, which is good, because I never tell people anything and not tell them to research afterwards. So, I guess somebody did their research. So she put that out there, or that was put out there. And then we have, Django and Mr. Candy. You remember? And then I posted this. This is just, all the people I mentioned. That way y'all can see that on my community section. So I think people know what time it is, and they're slowly coming around. But they're coming around at a time where, a lot of people are still asleep. So a lot of people don't know why. Why are they having a change of heart? Why are they trying to stand up for us? They don't, because they don't know what time it is. And then, it's a little bit sad that, some people know what time it is and others don't, So that's why I kind of do what I do on this channel, to help wake someone up, or help y'all, see things that y'all probably wouldn't have saw, And I think one of the main reasons that they want to now, I mean, if you saw Kim Kardashian, if you watched that show, I don't really watch it, but I saw one episode where she went to Chicago, and her mom were helping to build some type of community center in, the inner city or whatever, where Kanye grew up. So you see a lot of people donating a lot of money. You see a lot of people talking up, for causes. You see a lot of people come into the financial or supportive role, and also, honoring, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't know why, it's because during this time, if you are not covered, as they say, you're going to need what they call a sponsor or a voucher or a ticket, which means You're going to need someone to vouch for you if, whatever goes down, goes down. It could be in any aspect. It could be spiritually, mentally, physically, who knows? I'm just saying. And also, when this time thing goes away, there'll be, time from every era. Okay. So think about this. If we have, it says it in the Emerald Tablets where it says that, to master time, when upon thee death fast approaches, fear not, but know ye are the master of death. Relax thy body, resist not the tension. Place in thy heart the flame of thy soul. Swiftly then sweep it to the seat of the triangle. Hold it for a moment and then move to the goal. This is how it tells you how to ascend, like, when your soul leaves your body, basically. So, but then it says, then shall the past be one with the present. Then shall the memory of all be retained. Free shall thou be from the retrogression. The things of the past shall live in today. So if you escape, or if if your soul escapes, if you die, whatever, if we go into a different dimension, who knows what, whatever. If the past, present, and future are all at the same time, or the past and the present are all at the same time, and you are surrounded by, certain souls, and your transgressions that you have done in the past are being played before your eyes, then what do you think, or how do you think you will be judged? So since there was slavery, since there was, colonization, those events will play over and over and over with the people that did those things. And so when those things are continuously being played over and over and over, it's going to be for all energies or spirits to witness. You remember when I told you that 4D and 5D, you'd be able to see and talk to and witness events that happened in the past? So just think about that for a second. All right. So knowing what time it is means that you're going to need someone to take up for you, because just like there are souls and energies here, there are also souls and energies there that are constantly watching the past and the present at the same time. And if it's not, it's just going to be interesting. And that's why I feel like people are coming to the realization that, when they say time is up, that's why they have the guilty Harvey Weinstein, Me Too, time is up, whatever. He got convicted, or, his sentence was guilty, or whatever y'all call that stuff. He was found guilty. And, they're trying to serve justice to the people that, have done the wrong, instead of focusing on people that were cleared and got through the court system. Now they're actually putting, justice where it belongs and not in the wrong places anymore. Right. So now, yes. Why start to preserve the race so late? Because, like Drake said, don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. I don't know. I mean, for me, I think better late than never. Better late than never. Right. Judgment, yeah. Yeah, I feel that you can't really say what something is until you experience it, but just know that there is a dimension where time is not really a thing, where everything happens at the same time, that you can witness it. So just understand that. Let me see some of these questions. Okay, so then we have the boxer licking the other dude's blood on camera, licking his blood. Okay, so we already know some people drink, melanated people's blood and eat their pineal glands, da 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 da. And so, this was a public example, and then the video went viral. Let's see if I have it. Well, I have the photo, but he's trying to lick the blood off the dude. Okay. Okay. Um, that did make you sick. Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to show that to you if it was not good. Okay, so yeah, now we have that out there, and we have a lot of people trying to make amends, trying to make peace. We have the Rihanna speech, pull up, if you break bread with people that are not like you, when you have an issue or when your people have an issue, they need to also pull up to your issue like they pull up to your table, basically. And I told y'all Rihanna was going to get the sprinkle sprinkle from MJ, or that type of energy, the Christos energy. And her speech sounded a lot like something Michael would say, except she put her own little spin on it at the end when she says pull up. So she was giving a Michael Jackson like speech. She never gave speeches like that before on that level. And she covered up so she could be taken seriously. She was getting the presidential award. Da, 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 da. So she said her piece because she knows what time it is. And we got to tell people, and it's up to them to do it or not. It's up to them. Everybody has free will, right? So yeah. Oh yeah, at the Kobe Memorial, they was someone told me that they were playing PYT, and I was just watching it, and I heard that too. And they had butterflies and stuff. The butterflies represent the transition, of course. And then PYT, maybe that was his favorite MJ song. It also is coded. So, yeah. I thought the same thing. She chose the words carefully. Yeah, a lot of that you could tell was very, MJ-esque, right? She seemed like she held back during the speech. Yeah, she held back. I mean, that was I think that was like one of her first times kind of doing something like that. And she was probably a little bit nervous. I feel like, she has to come into her role more, which is what you're going to see a lot more from her. She's going to come into her role as kind of like a spokesperson or someone to, to say something when it needs to be said. Blah, blah, blah. Right. So now that she knows that, that's her role, she'll get more comfortable in it. And I think people will listen to her because she's not so, I think you learn from your past mistakes. Like a lot of people couldn't listen to MJ because he was too famous. All you were just freaking out when he walked out on the stage. People wouldn't stop screaming. Nobody was paying attention to the message. So I think with someone like Rihanna, people will actually listen. Okay. They could have let his parents speak. I don't know if he was like, I think at the Kobe Memorial by his parents. Yeah. I was watching and I was like, the family don't look happy. Like his family doesn't look happy. They look mad or a little bit disturbed or like, so they probably had a falling out prior to all of that. I'm pretty sure they had some type of falling out prior to to his death, and they were just kind of on the outs. But it is what it is. Right. Your mom looked mad. Yeah, I heard there was some issues before, um, but I saw his wife speak, and I saw Michael Jordan speak. I saw Beyonce sing. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just kind of skipped through it. But yeah, it was interesting. But I feel like it was a lot of people there gathered to pull his legacy back where it belonged, and that was a good thing. But a lot of people know what time it is. That was the topic of the video, and because people are starting to tell the truth. Okay, like a lot of people say I shouldn't say what I say, but how else will people find out? If your own people, if your own people hide the truth in history, and whitewash history, then who else is going to tell you? You don't have a reason to look for that until you do. So who else is going to tell you what time it is? Except for the timekeepers. Timekeepers. So I don't regret anything because I feel like people should know what time it is so that they can act accordingly. And the sad thing is, your own people will not tell you if you know what time it is. You have to find it elsewhere. You have to find it elsewhere. I mean, wouldn't you be upset? I mean, imagine how upset a lot of people were when they found out the truth was kept from them. They had a reason to go and research. Like we had a reason to go and research a lot of things because all of our knowledge was taken from us. So we had a reason. So a lot of people already knew this was coming ahead of time and, understood that. Hold on, somebody texted me. My cousin crazy. All right. Okay, I don't want to text her back. So thank you. I'm just going to turn the volume down. More people are speaking on this now at the age of Aquarius energy. So why? Yeah, I mean, I know why I have certain people that troll me. I mean, it's okay. I really don't mind. I mean, when you are prepared to say certain things, you expect certain things that come with it. It doesn't really matter. Uh-huh. A celebrity has died per month. I don't really speak on certain things because sometimes, yeah, they die, but that's to get attention at a certain level. Okay. So not attention like, oh, this person needs attention, but that's to get you focused on something. Okay. So I really don't want to answer if they're here, if they're not, it doesn't matter. They got the attention focused in an area. So I'm not here to focus on that. Yes, a celebrity will die. A celebrity has died each month, true. But the point is to get the message across. And that's a fast way to get a lot of message, a big message across to many people at the same time. Mhm. Can you be more specific, like when is all unfold? It unfolds individually for each person depending on your level and on your frequency. For example, okay, you go scroll through Facebook or Instagram and to some those spiritual groups and stuff. You're gonna see a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, somebody's in the hospital. Oh, I got found out I got this." It's different levels of different frequencies that are going to be affected. So it's almost like now that they have out the 5G cell phone service, or T-Mobile or Verizon or whatever that is. Just think of how it's going to increase. Okay, you remember that movie Cell? If everyone has 5G in their hands, 5G in their hands, what do you think that's going to do to people? It's going to make them act crazy. It's going to yeah, right. So it's going to make them act a little strange. And also diet, of course. Diet is going to have a lot to do with it. As the 5G services increase, when summertime comes around, they can't make it cold in the summer. So it's just going to be a transition. It's not going to happen overnight. Like I said before, it's not going to be overnight. It's going to be a transition, just a transition. So, right. Hey, Ashira, how can I use magic? I'm not answering anything that doesn't go with this video anymore. Just, y'all need to stay on topic. That's, So, right. So melanin is supposed to protect against 5G and sun. Yes, melanin protects against radiation and UVB radiation. Yes. And that means cellular as well, like down to your cells, down to your DNA, it protects you because there's melanin in your nucleus, around your nucleus. So it can't get to your DNA. See? But if you don't have melanin in your cells, then you are permanently damaged from all the radiation. So that's not good. So everybody's like saying, oh, go vegan and eat plant-based because that helps, but it helps for now. Right. It helps for now, and that's why a lot of people are saying go vegan because it produces like more chlorophyll. Plants, like plant-based, has more chlorophyll in it, which has a form of melanin in it. They have a list of foods that have melanin in them, like mushrooms, just different types of veggies and things like that you can eat to increase your melanin. But it's still not going to be as helpful as having the melanin. Okay. Also, heart issues. The 5G is going to start affecting people's hearts, and because your heart works on electricity and on a frequency. So if there's waves and radiation going through the air and it's messing with your heart, which is not protected, then things are going to be a little difficult. Right. It's not about the matrix. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing happened overnight. Everything is a transition. Okay. So everything is a transition. Everything is leading to the next thing and to the next thing, but it's happening at a faster rate. So, for example, there were crazy heat waves last year in Europe. A bunch of people died. There's floods right now in England, and there was some in Alabama. Those fires in Australia that were crazy. I mean, it's happening every year. It's going to get a little bit more and more and more and more and more until things have gotten to the level where if you don't have certain things, you won't be in a good position. If you don't have certain frequency, you won't be in a good position. That's just it. And I'm not saying this for any other reason because I don't profit off of, any of this. I'm just saying if your own people will not tell you, if your own people did not tell you, and don't come to my channel to try to say it's not true. All you have to do is go to Google, open a science book, open a quantum physics book, and go ahead and do your research, baby. Because there's nothing that I have said that you can't go find from scientists, from studies, from papers online from MIT, Brown University, Stanford Brown University, Japanese scientists, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And it's already understandable. Most scientists will tell you that. So it doesn't matter what people feel about it. I'd be mad too if I wasn't told. Studies you have no understanding of. I have total understanding of the studies. That's why I can interpret them. Sadly. Yes, I have a very adequate scientific background. Yes. I've studied microbiology, anatomy, biology. I've studied the whole embalming science, which you're going to need forensics and all of that. So I understand all of the vocabulary when I read a study on. Okay. You confirmed it. Yeah. See, just go Google it. It's right there waiting for you. Hey, Wanda. Wanda Wisdom. Okay. Yes, time is illusion. And when it stops existing, all things will exist at the same time. You know. Um, I wonder if Kobe left his sisters and parents any money. Good question. Mhm. The different kinds of melanin: pheomelanin and eumelanin. Pheomelanin is lights like yellow to pink skin, and eumelanin is light tan to dark, the darkest skin. You know. I'm kind of smart. That's hard to conceive. It ain't hard to conceive. I hide it well so I can get everything I need. Playing dumb is the smartest thing anybody could do. Okay. hmm I don't think celebrities are mind controlled. hmm I never said that they were mind controlled. Maybe that's another channel you watch. Um, mhm. Melanin doesn't exist. Carbon does. Yeah, if you break it down to the elements. Sure. Do you believe having a different crystals help enhance manifestation? It just enhances your frequency. So I guess I remember my ex made me said you're going to get shot by the police because you don't listen, and it happened. Ooh, dang. Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Will organize an EMF jewelry help against 5G? Yeah, it will help a little bit, but it's not gonna fully help. Like you can't wear it all over your body. You know what I mean? You got to wear some clothes lined with that stuff because it's gonna. If everyone, okay, let's just say in the next 5 years, everyone's gonna upgrade their phone, right? And a lot of companies are gonna make it mandatory to get 5G. It's just, oh, we only have 5G now. We only have 5G. If everybody's cell phone is on 5G, a little necklace is not gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they're trying to make phone cases and phones out of synthetic melanin to absorb the 5G out of it. But it's not going to really do that because it's synthetic. So it's going to have its faults. And so it's not going to really work. They're trying to fuse technology with synthetic melanin to keep that from happening, but it's still not going to be safe because there's still a level that will not be contained. Right. And so I think a lot of people know what time it is, and so they're trying to make good and make amends, and get people to love each other and be together and have peace and stop fighting because now they realize you know, who we are. I mean, there's that article that came out talking about the ghost DNA and the alien DNA found in black people. So they're seeing things in the sky. They're just getting very nervous as to what all is going to happen. And I feel that understanding that, puts a lot of fear in people. And either you do what's right or you just see what happens. I don't know. I think people are coming to that conclusion. Right. Um, what the 5G that we have now is not enough. Not every phone service or phone company uses 5G. But when the upgrades come in, like when you have to upgrade your service or your phone, you're gonna probably, they're probably gonna have 5G everywhere by then. I'm talking about in every company. So for example, I don't have 5G on my phone. I don't have 5G. Okay. Mine's still 4G or 4G, right? Whatever. But if I were to go and upgrade my phone and tell them I want the new 5G plan that comes with that new phone, because they're gonna go, oh, you get all this free and you da, da, da. So I was like, okay, I'll get it. Now I have 5G coming directly into my house to my phone that I'm going to be holding all the time. See, and it's going through the air everywhere you pass if someone else has a phone with 5G on it. Okay. Why would they create 5G if they knew it would hurt people? That is the catch, you see. That was the trick. There's always a trickster in the whole game. When you trade information or you trade certain things for technology, as far as, certain beings are concerned, we'll trade you this for this technology. We'll trade you this but they never knew that technology would hurt them. You see, they just were greedy for the technology. They didn't understand that they couldn't use this technology because they didn't have the correct frequency. Just like they stole all the knowledge from Egypt, they couldn't use the knowledge because they don't have the frequency. They couldn't do the magic correctly. If that's the one thing that would be missing, they're putting up towers at a rapid pace. I know they just put one up on my house, and they were putting one up, over there. So the knowledge and the technology won't matter if you can't use it. And that's the trick. And that's why, they didn't introduce it when Tesla was trying to roll out with it, because they knew that they weren't ready to give it up. They weren't ready to use that because, they would have gotten really sick from all that frequency and energy going through the air. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a plan that signed up for 5G, I think there's only one company that has 5G. I think it's what? T-Mobile or something like that. Maybe, I think Verizon might have it now. All of them are going to have it soon. It's just a matter of time. So, right. You can go back to a flip phone. You got to go back to that flip phone. If you want to be safe, you're going to have to go back to a flip phone, honestly. Especially so for example, okay, if you are melanated, it won't bother you because you absorb that energy. You're good. But if you are not, then it may bother you. It will. So, a lot of people are going back to flip phones or something like that. Mm-hmm. So 5G has to do with solar waves? Nope. 5G is a ELF, electric low frequency. But it still causes issues. It causes depression, nausea, headache, cancer, all those things. Mm-hmm. But I have done videos on this since last year. Y'all just need to go do your own research. It will hit home if you do your own research, I promise you. And they're pushing that to the next level. So think about this. If you want to get to the next level technology-wise, and you are not able to due to the fact that you don't have a certain frequency or you don't have, which is the same thing as having melanin, this is as far as it goes, you see. Imagine if this is as far as you can go technology-wise. This is as far as you can go, unless you vibrate on a higher frequency in order to keep going. So if this is the last of the technology, if this is as far as we can go technology-wise, that's it. This is it. This is it. Basically it. 4G. That's it. People are already getting cancer from 4G and stuff. So they want to go further. There is so much more. So think about Wakanda, in the movie, how they had all that technology that, America and other parts of the world did not have because they were melanated. Melanated, and they could use technology on a different level. Mm-hmm. If you are not pink or yellow, you are melanated. Okay. If you are not white or Chinese, you are melanated. Okay. There's only two groups that are pheomelanin. There's the Chinese or maybe Japanese and Korean, and the I don't want to say Vietnamese, maybe, depending on if you have that tan skin. Some people have the tan skin. Some people Some Asians are melanated. And Indians, yes. Indonesia, yes. So if you sunburn outside, if you don't get tan and you just get red, you have melanin. I mean, you have pheomelanin. So, right. You said East Asian. Thank you, Maya. If you are East Asian, right. So that's why there's all this, y'all got to mix. But I think people know what time it is now because they started researching and wondering things and doing the research and coming across certain videos that they might not have liked what they heard, but they still stayed and listened and did their own research, which is very important to do your own research. And they got the answers that they were looking for. And so a lot of people know now. They're acting like they know. And when they act like they know, they actually probably did the research. Okay. Yes. Hi. Y'all just look at your skin. Do you sunburn, baby? Do you need sunblock? There you go. You know if you're white or tan. You know. Does vibrating on a higher level mean you have positive and no, it means okay. Vibrating on a higher level or a higher frequency physically means you have more energy stored in your body, which means you are melanated because melanin stores energy from the sun. It's like a solar panel. So that would automatically give you a higher frequency physically, right? So that would represent a higher frequency being, not consciously, but physically. Now, if you combine the consciousness with the physical, then you can vibrate on a very, very high level, right? Quantum energy, right? Mm-hmm. Go outside for 4 hours on a sunny day. If you don't burn, I think you're good. I don't know how to tell y'all any other way. Okay? I don't know how to tell you any other way. Go outside for 4 hours. Stay in the sun. Don't put no sunblock on. If you don't burn, you good. You melanate. All right. You said you was thinking about the cat. Are you thinking about getting a cat? Right. Demon scratched me. Voodoo helped, tricked me. Okay. Ashira said Black people are mixed with extraterrestrials. So what about Native Americans, original? Well, it depends on if you have, certain blood type. They said the only people that have it were from West Africa or have West African DNA. So go get you a DNA test and you got that West African DNA, you might have some. I think that's what the article said. And I did post the article on my community section. Just look up ghost DNA. Google ghost DNA. Mm-hmm. Do I succumb to caution with Mercury retrograde? No. I don't. Right. Native Americans have alien DNA too. Okay. Well, if you consider what Native Americans are, it's the Olmec and Asians mixed together. Okay. There you go. And the Olmec are very melanated. I mean, think about it. You take a black person and then you mix them with an Asian or a Caucasian or a Arab person. They're going to look Latino. They're going to look native. There. Insomnia for past couple of weeks, but so many downloads. It's wonderful. That's good. Yeah. I believe starseeds are the alien celestial beings, aka starseeds. Yep, starseeds with cosmic connections, which means they have quantum frequencies. Okay, so a starseed who, let's say I was a starseed, right? But let's say my great grandma was a starseed, but she mixed out of her melanin, and now everyone in the family is Caucasian. You don't have the connection anymore because you lost your quantum cosmic frequency. So that's how the best way I can explain it. You know what I mean? And they have like all these starseed. You a starseed quiz online? Please don't go by those. You can pass all the starseed tests you like. If you don't have a quantum frequency, you know, it's not going to be the same. And the whole reason for, America, the whole reason was to mix everyone. The whole reason, you know, you, everyone was supposed to be one by now. So, but they kept you separate because they kept lying. Okay. I have no idea where to start. Okay. The the Dogon in West Africa had a huge connection with the extraterrestrial. Yep. The Dogon. Yeah, I believe the Dogon and the people of Mali and West, like Africa, Nigeria, a lot of those have that. A lot of those countries have those extraterrestrial DNA. Okay. Brazil more mixed than America. That's true. They didn't. If they did mix more, yeah, America should be like Brazil. You know, America should look more like Brazil than it does because we have the same type of people here, but everybody's so separate and against each other. And I feel that that's probably a good example. Can you do a conspiracy video on the mermaid? Why would that be a conspiracy video? Remember what I told you about shapeshifting? When your extraterrestrial DNA gets activated, you can become whatever you like, baby. Mhm. The Caribbean population too. That's right. Like if you look at all the islands in the Caribbean, you'll see that a lot of the people are very much mixed. Um, and that's what America should have been. But they kept everything separate. They lied about stuff. They hid science. They hid history. And then at the last minute, now they want to try to secretly code it, and put out coded messages at the last minute. So it's kind of strange why they would do that. But hey. Everyone's on Facebook talking about mermaids in Haiti. Right. Mermaids in Haiti. Huh? The ocean is the least discovered, frontier. So I'm sure there's stuff that we don't know that's down there. Mhm. I believe they are real. Okay. You know, it's something that I would believe over, the ocean has a lot of things that have not been discovered. So it's very possible. Yes. You said you visited your cousin in London and you were surprised at how it was much more mixed than America. Right. Well, yeah, because, you have like Africa is very close to the UK. So you have a lot of people coming from there. hmm Well, here's my thing. You don't have to do anything. Like if you are already you melanated, you good. Like I said, unless you want to, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if you want to or not. The choice is yours. And I always say that. But I'm saying that if there weren't so many lies and history hidden and people pit against each other, it wouldn't have been an issue. People would have just done it automatically without any type of thought, just like in the Caribbean, in Brazil, in other parts of the world where it's not a big deal. So, but since race is such a huge thing in America, it is a big deal. But and I don't know why you know it. I know why it's that way, but I don't know why people are always asking, well, why didn't they tell us, and why is everything coded? Maybe they wanted you to figure it out, or maybe they just didn't want to tell anyone so that they could remain some type of in some type of power for a certain amount of time. But the point is, it's not going to last much longer. Right. It won't last much longer. And that's why people are hopping on board, because they already know. Think about this. And I said this in my last video. If all the entertainers hop ship into their own companies, or into a Black owned company, or a Latino owned company, or an Asian owned film company, and they don't have access to any of the talent anymore except for themselves, who's going to go watch those movies? You know, who's going to sing? Who's going to listen to that music? Who are they going to have to, get paid from? I mean, think about it. They really don't have the talent, so they can't own the rights to the talent anymore. And this is why you see all these actors and musicians hopping on board with, the entertainment industry, or the Black side of the entertainment industry, because that's where all the money is going to be in the future. No one is going to make deals anymore if they have their own. So no one needs a record deal from, this person over here, this person over there, if they can go get one from someone that looks like them, and, have a fair shot, and not have to deal with all the, other stuff that comes with that. So, mhm. What we call the world map is only 3% of what we call Earth. I'm pretty sure it is. They be lying. Mhm. Yeah. So you're going to see a lot more fusion of artists now. Watch. The heartbeat of the culture, entertainment depends on it, right? And so, if you can't understand, or if you don't want to understand, that's okay. But you're getting ready to see a lot of changes, like major changes in the industry and in the world, and how people are reacting with each other. It's not going to be bad. Hopefully, it won't be bad. I don't think it'll be bad. I think people will wake up, and it'll just be a smooth transition. I think more people would rather have that. Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, I think they've been lying so long, right? Mhm. And, new people, younger people have to come out and say the truth, no matter what race. They just got to tell the truth, because if you keep hiding stuff, people are going to figure it out eventually, and then it'll look like you have something to hide. So don't want to do that. You should look up Roselia, the artist. She is connected to a lot of melanated artists like Naomi Campbell, Drake. Okay. What about gentrification? What about gentrification? Like buying up of the neighborhoods? Um, I say, when you get money, if you want to buy your neighborhood, go buy it. There's nothing wrong with investing into your, especially if it's been gentrified, you could buy Amber Alert. You can buy it too, or you can move out and move somewhere else to a nice place as well. You don't, Dunkin' Donuts commercial that I posted saying inside zombies were outside. Right. So the zombie thing is like the living dead. That represents, the people that are not awake. They don't know any better. They're going to be affected by certain things. They're going to flip out. 5G has different effect on a lot of people. So does solar radiation, So it's just going to be the side effects. That's all. hmm Your sister married to a Puerto Rican man. They have twins. My parents were upset and they refer to my niece and nephew as biracial rather than black. I was just like, it's my sister's kids. Leave her. Yeah, well, if you take a Puerto Rican and do their DNA, they have African blood, a lot of African blood too, and native blood. So, okay, if y'all, a lot of people are worried about what's black and what's white and what's mixed and what's that. If you go look at one of the, if you go look at one of the predominant black leaders of today, he don't look black all the way either. Um, so the whole right. My sister is married. I already read that one. Right. You said true. I'm gonna go look at Farrakhan. Look at Farrakhan. He don't look all the way black. Neither does his wife. But the point is, that's what he represents. Neither do the people before him that he says were his teachers. So, just saying. Mhm. Right. He said he might be Jewish. Who said he might be Jewish? Right. I have to blow these up so I can see. Okay. It doesn't matter black or Puerto Rican or Latino. It's all about you melanin for now. Think about it. It's about you melanin. So that's all it's really about at this time. Yes. So for example, okay, so you might have a Puerto Rican over here, you might have a Mexican over here, you have a Brazilian over here, you might have an Indian over here, but they all you melanated. All of them. All of them are you melanated. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing energetically. Now, of course, the darker you are, the more you melanin you have. But it's the same thing. It's not, you know. You've been seeing all these. hmm 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 So, did you see the KFC commercial about the donut chicken sandwich? KFC. I no. I saw Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwich. Yeah, I said for now because everyone is going to mix eventually anyway. It's going to be, um, it's going to come down to that. But for now, if you are you melanated, there's nothing to really be like overly concerned about. But if you can, like, if you are on the bridge, if you don't know what you are, that means go darker. If you marry and have children, right? hmm So Sprinkle raining down in the backyard. Okay. Right. Everything that you predict comes to be fact, which is why I'm asking you, think we will be ordered to stay inside of our homes as China? No, we're not. They already have a cure for the coronavirus, baby. Came out with it last week. You good. The cure came from Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. I posted that in my community section. Houston, Texas allies. Your pineal gland is your ally. Your Houston is your ally. Okay. They released it here. I mean, they had it in San Antonio. There's too many Mexicans in San Antonio for that thing to spread. Okay. It was too much melanin in San Antonio for any of those diseases to get out. Okay. It's hot in Texas too. So, yes, people in Italy got it. People in China got it. People on that cruise ship from Japan got it. A few Americans, but, 0 cases in predominantly Black countries. Alchemy of Life. Thank you. What do you think of the book, The Omniverse? It's pretty good. I just think that some of it is very, very, very technical. And if you are not really educated on certain things, then you may not understand it, or you may believe some of it that's just not true, or they don't put the whole truth up in there. They leave a couple things out, if you know what I mean. Okay. So, yes. In a lot of books and spiritual videos and, stuff like ancient aliens and all that, they leave the main part out. And that's why it's no good. They leave the main part out, which is dumb. Like, you're going to tell us all this and forget to say that one thing that you're missing. Oh, but we can't use it because we don't have melanin. Oh, but we can't do that or access this because we don't have melanin. Or we can't do this and that because we don't have melanin. They always forget to leave that part out. They don't want you to know your power or your abilities or your capabilities or your potential. They don't want to put that in there. I always say it after they finish their sentence. I say it, but you need melanin. Why? Because then what would happen? Think about it. If they were to tell the truth, what would happen? They want you to find it on your own and then tell other people. And then once a certain amount of people know, they might come out and say it. But the point is, you have to learn it yourself first, and enough people have to understand it first in order for them to finally come out and say something, because you can't hide it after that. Right. Please, why did the white guy lick the black guy's blood? Oh, I already talked about that earlier. They do that in in certain religions. They did that in certain, cults and, whatever they call themselves in Hollywood. And the pheomelanated people tend to drink the blood of the eumelanated and also eat their pineal glands or babies because it has a certain amount of eumelanin in it. So, rituals, right? And then, everybody say, "Oh, there's too many people missing. There's too many Black people missing. Organ harvesting, da da da." Yeah. Thank you. But you know what? Like I said, right now it's not about different races. It's about pheomelanated and eumelanated. The frequency is important to your mental and your physical and spiritual transition. It's very important. And I know a lot of people don't understand, but if you just break down melanin scientifically, you'll understand that there are crystals in it, which is a conductor of light, and also absorbs, um, frequencies and things like that. Da, da, da. And if you know what the fourth state of matter is, which is a plasma, then you understand what a soul is. And a soul is very connected to the physical. Just because you can't see it does not mean it's no longer particles. Okay, particles turn into waves. That's quantum physics. So it does matter. I know people say, "Oh, it doesn't matter what color you are. It's a spirit." Okay, no, spirit or soul. A spirit does not have crystal in it, but a soul does. That's why when you say, "Oh, he has soul," or that's soul music, or that's soul food, it's just a little extra, got a little extra sprinkle on it, which means the crystalline, the Christos, Christ consciousness, or the Christ body, or the body of Christ. The body of Christ compels you. Compels. Think about that sentence. If you're able to compel another being because of your frequency after you've been activated, the body of Christ compels. What does compel mean? If you are compelled by something, that's interesting, right? The spirit gives animation, exactly. But the soul is the connection into the cosmos, into the heavens, into the rest of the universe, not only to the other people on the planet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Someone who grows dark hair has melanin, blonde hair is melanin. Blonde hair is melanated and recessive. Okay, if you grow black hair, you have melanin on your head, but not on your skin. Okay, your hair is not going to protect your skin. So, melanin and melanin are the skin types. So you can have black hair, like most people in China, but that doesn't keep you from sunburning or getting radiation. Okay. Um, if you want high frequency, you have to meditate on gratitude and love. It's still not going to be as high as it needs to be to absorb solar radiation in 5G, but it will help you stay positive and vibrate higher than you were before. And I'm just saying this because people aren't going to tell you. They're just not going to tell you. They're just going to make money off of you on the medical industry, make money off of you in the psychiatrist office, giving you drugs to cope with whatever you're going through. And they're just going to make money off you until you are gone. Think about that for a second. They're not going to tell you what's wrong with you. They're just going to say, "Oh, you're just depressed. Oh, you just have cancer. Oh, we caught it too late. Oh, all we can do now is make you comfortable. Oh, try this new treatment. Oh, sorry, it failed." The medical industry is there to make money off of you. They're never, like, all the stuff that's going around, it's not what you think it is. They're testing people out. They're trying to merge melanin with melanin, and they're trying to do it through viruses. That's the only way that it can be done, but they can't do it. They're trying to do it through the vaccines. They can't do it through there either. So, they're not going to tell you. They're just going to treat you and sell you medication and just watch everyone, eventually get to a certain level of illness and da da da. It's not going to be an epidemic. Like, it's going to be like, oh, everybody's getting this, everybody's getting that, or you know, um, then it'll be too late, and then people will realize they should have listened. You know, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but it is happening. Uh-huh. What's the meaning of the pink and blue hair? Harley Quinn character. The left and the right brain, the feminine and the masculine. The You combine them together to get purple, which is the crown chakra. It's the two sides of the brain. It's the two becoming one. It's the merge. It's the Christos consciousness merging. Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle, 5G cellular Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Sprinkle Sprinkle. Thank you for that donation. Um, mhm. Talk about the code. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy anymore. Sorry. That was like years and years ago. Melanin is a cosmic passport. That is right. If you are a person of color, you already have melanin. Just take vitamin D if there's no sun around you. Vitamin D. Mm-hmm. Melanin equals Melanin last number. LOL. Oh, thank you for that donation. Yep. 9. You'll see 9 everywhere now. 9D beings, baby. If y'all been watching my channel for a long time, y'all remember years and years ago I was telling y'all about the 9D beings on the all black crystal planet with the masks on, blah 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 blah. I call them gang gang now. But I told you guys about that years and years ago. And yeah. Okay. Triple blackness in the mind. Mhm. Um some of those words are probably of a different language. I don't know what that is. You said 9s always follow you. So, I think you're going to see more and more people, especially in the media. This is why they have to do it in the media. This is why famous people have to do it, because they influence the masses. Famous people influence the masses on a large, grand scale. So if people start seeing, celebrities do it, they'll, take up for unfair treatment or issues or whatever, or say certain things or collaborate with certain people. They're going to start to do the same because of the influence. That's why they have to use celebrity, because no one else gets people's attention. Politicians don't, you know, normal people don't, so they have to use them. What about animals? How will they cope with 5G? Ooh. There's some animals that have melanin. Some of them don't. Look at the bottom of their paws. If their paws are pink, they don't have it. If their paws are black, they have it. Like the pads of their paws. If their nose is black and the bottom of their paws are black, they have melanin. Okay. Mm-hmm. My cats have it too. My cat. I don't know if Rico has it. I could look at his paw. Sheeps will survive. He said sheeps will survive. I was wondering, can they move to another reality where it saves them? Yeah, the past. The past. Um, the past. Do you remember that book that they said was written about Trump, and it was written a long time ago in the past, where he became president back then and all that. A fictional reality, a different type of reality. You have to rewrite your story. So if you are not able to exist in the future due to the amount of radiation and solar activity or whatever, then where there was no solar activity and a bunch of radiation is where you will still exist, in a past. Because remember, the past, present, and future will all exist at the same time. So in the past, that's why there's reincarnation over and over in that realm. It's gonna continue. It's like a cycle of reincarnation over and over in the realm where time once existed in the past. So, but you can't move into the future unless, in that past you get with someone with some melanin, and then you can ascend to the next level. You see? So it's kind of like time loop until you can get out cosmically. All right. Is the time loop perpetual? Okay, let's say you alive in this time, and let's say you pass away and you reincarnate as someone in the past, but you have some type of memory because you awoke and you got some type of knowledge on how to keep your memory from the emerald tablets, and you remember, oh my gosh, I need some melanin. I need some new melanin in order to make it out of this cycle. Then, no matter what the laws are, you're going to find a way, or you're going to create a way, or you're going to do what you got to do, or you'll write something to let your friends and family know what's the deal. So that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Time travelers, right? Do y'all remember that movie Cloud Atlas, where you kept seeing a lot of the people that were reincarnated over and over and over again? And then at the end, Tom Hanks and Halle Berry had to get together, and then they ended up on a different planet with some mixed kids and stuff. Same thing. You got to get some, or that's it. Hmm. Or you go back, you repeat. But if this, whatever y'all are calling, if this matrix, if that world is, no longer available, um, then I don't know. Or maybe there's a world that you can't even get to until you have the melanin, or there's a future that only exists only if you have melanin. So I feel that when time starts changing, the sky starts changing, and the weather starts changing, and climate starts changing, all at the same time, it's not a coincidence. Hey, Sashi. Bye. Oh yeah, they said Weinstein was guilty, so he got the guilty charge. Mm-hmm. It was designed for Trump to have 2020. Of course, he will do 2 terms. Yep. Yep. Maybe the ancient Egyptians were worshiping us. Remember the time we first met. What do I think of Orion's belt? I think Orion's belt is just a belt, but it would be no belt if there was no Orion or Apollo or Heru. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. You can't just focus on the belt. Who's wearing the belt? You see? And you can't have a belt without the man wearing the belt. So people are always focused on Orion's belt. Oh, they line up with the pyramid, da, 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 blah, blah, blah. Well, you need something else. you know. Um, that was just like a metaphor for saying you can focus on the tool and the information all you want, but you can't use it. Mhm. So all the information, all that knowledge that they took from ancient Kemet, they couldn't even use it correctly without you Melanin. It wouldn't work. That's why they had to try to get the blood, and they started doing sacrifices, uh, trying to make it work. They tried to drink it so that it would be within them, so they could make the magic happen. It wouldn't work. So it might have worked to a certain point, but not cosmically. It couldn't change anything. All it could do was maybe work on a surface level, but it couldn't work like it was supposed to work. You know, so you can't use it without the DNA. MJ plays with no name, gang gang. hmm European tries to sell us our own history and magic back to us. Ha ha ha. Mhm. Oh, yep. Ooh, what are my thoughts on Snoop Anubis at the Red Table Talk? Oh yeah, he done it. He did his duty already. Now he can go sit and chat. Mm. What's done is already done. He did his job. Now he can go talk about it. That was my thing. You can do your job, but and then still go make amends and talk about it. But the job was done. Doesn't matter. You can't take the job back. It's already been done. You know. So it really didn't matter at all, as long as the job got done. That's the point. Um, what is my take on Jada? I think she tries to kind of like smooth things out with the public. She smooths things out with the public so that they can get back to their business. She's the mediator. She's like, okay, y'all need to like him again. So she kind of puts things on the table for everybody to see and discuss, da, 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 and get things back in order. But I feel that it's too late after and everything is done. It's done anyway. Can't change the Jada with the red table talk with Snoop. Right. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. Some of these gospel songs have hidden message. Yeah, a lot of them. The whole Bible is code. You know. But see, they tried to flip it and make you think that you were not who you are. hmm What is gang gang? Gang gang is the energies and frequencies and souls and the ancestors that are coming back with vengeance. That's gang gang. Mhm. I had a dream that I walked outside into a light with Snoop, and I don't even think about Snoop like that. Yeah, it's what he symbolizes. That's all. Can you decode some random Bible verses? Yeah, give me one. I'll look it up on my phone. Give me one you want to decode, and I'll do a couple, and then I'll go back to something else. Like, do I believe in the devil? Is there only one devil? The devil. hmm John 10:10. Okay, look that up. I hope this is good and like, let's see if I can decode it. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life. That's just the person that ain't got no melanin. And I guess this is Jesus talking about he come to give life, he come to give some of you melanin. That's all that says. John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So basically, that person is only coming to take the melanin. I'm coming to give it. That's all it means. Genesis 28:14. Okay. Okay, let's see. Y'all need, let's see. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. Okay. That means you're going to be spread all over the earth and you will be blessed. People will be blessed through your melanin. That's all it means. Okay. See, it's all coded. Revelate. Thank you, Eccentric Me Channel. Revelations 12:6. Okay. Goodness gracious. I got me. Revelation 12:6. Okay, let's see what this says. The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. The woman fled into the wilderness to a place. I would have to see let me find the one before it. Okay. Well, the wilderness would represent like a place where, like a desert or something, and that's a spiritual journey. So the woman would have to go into a spiritual journey, which is a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for, I don't know how many days that is. Maybe that's the length of days somebody's pregnant. I don't even know. No, it doesn't seem like it. Seems long. I would have to see the verse before this or after that. So let me look at 7. Because sometimes you have to use the context clues surrounding it. Okay. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. Oh, okay. So the woman released into the wilderness is a frequency. It's a, yeah. Y'all remember when I told y'all when people target women? Oh, thank you, Daniel. When people target women to get their emotions triggered and they harness that energy to send it out into the ethers, that's one of the ways that they do that. They send it out into the wilderness, and the frequency takes that long to get the message out, I guess. Okay, Daniel, thank you, Sprinkle. Ephesians 6:12. Okay, this is the last one, so don't put it anymore. The wilderness will be the cosmos, or the spirit world, where the souls go. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yes. So this represents not against the flesh and blood, but against the principalities. Principalities and represent frequencies. And the rulers of the darkness. Okay, the rulers of darkness represent those with low frequencies. The rulers over those with lower frequencies of this world. So those lower frequencies, you see, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. So if you get a electromagnetic spectrum chart, just go Google electromagnetic spectrum and hit image. You'll see that the higher a frequency gets, it will turn blue. It will be like, red, and then like this, it would yellow, green, and then blue. The lowest frequency would be red and then black. That's the darkness on the physical light realm. or the physical light spectrum is the darkness. That represents the lower vibrating frequencies. The higher frequencies would represent the gamma rays, or the crystalline energies. So that's representing the people with the lower energies. Whenever you see people or dark energies, they're not talking about dark matter. They're not talking about dark plasma in the cosmos when they're speaking of darkness on the planet, because that doesn't, they're talking about the spectrum in that aspect. Mm-hmm. So just go look up the spectrum picture, electromagnetic spectrum, and just pull it up, right? Ultraviolet. What does blood on the floor mean? Passover Bible reference. Blood has been spilt on the floor. Messages up to above and below. Y'all know blood is a messenger. Now that's how people do blood magic. So there are energies inside the earth as well as above. And so when something gets on the floor, when blood has been spilt, there's two messages that's sent out, one above and one below. Okay. There are energies within the planet as well as outside of the planet. And that message is, like, okay, time to go to work. So for example, if someone killed someone and that person knows exactly what's going on and why they were killed and what time it is, their blood holds that message. See? So when their blood is spilled, the energies within the planet, or the souls within the planet, as well as the souls above, they both get that message and they go to action. Okay. So like the more people that are killed and slaughtered and done dirty, those messages keep going out. And the more that they pile up, the worse the weather gets, the hotter it gets, the more it rains, the more fires there are, the more whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because people are not, um, trying to figure it out anymore. They know. That's what you're dealing with now. We were hermaphrodite until we modified the produce. What? Yes, like Nipsey and Kobe and Pop Smoke, right? If you notice, like they stopped trying to kill people that are awake. They only kill people. People don't target awakened people anymore. So if someone is, calling a bluff, they're going to use people that are awake to call it bluff with. Think about it, especially Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even matter because, the frequency has changed. Mm-hmm. There's no good without evil, right? But there is, I wouldn't say good and evil. I would say if you destroy that in which created you, then you no longer exist either. So there is no me without you. There's no you without me, because there's no them without us. As long as there is good, there's always been evil. Of course, there's always going to be evil. The most evil people are right in your vicinity. They don't even have to be of a different race. That's another issue. But the point is, what's happening now? Mm-hmm. The law of polarity. How can you awaken? Research and read, baby. Get knowledge. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge of self. That's how you can awaken. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the signs and symbols that you're afraid of, run to them and learn what they mean. There's a reason why they made you afraid of them. Okay? If I didn't want you to touch my money, I would tell you that money was poison. Money would burn your fingers if you touched it. I'd tell you all type of stuff so you don't touch my money, baby. I promise you. Stay away from it. It's evil. It'll only bring you bad things. Do not touch money. And what are you going to be afraid of? Money. Oh, that's evil. Oh, that's bad. Yes, of course it's bad because someone told you it was bad. Even though it's not bad, you just need to go learn about it. So I'm using that as an example. So, like, for example, Baphomet or 666 or all the symbols that they tell you are evil or, whatever. Go research them. Go learn. Go get deeper knowledge. That way you could determine that for yourself. And whatever you're afraid of, go learn about it so that you won't be afraid anymore. The more you learn about something, the less you have any type of fear because there's nothing to fear. And I wish people would just go and do that instead of being all, spooky and scary. Mm-hmm. Right. Like that song, Very Superstitious by Stevie Wonder is so true. You believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Please go do the research. Mhm. Why is it that white men are less likely to seek a melanated spouse, but white women seem to know better and mixed race reproduce more? I don't know. Why don't you ask one of them? Do I look like a white man? If there's a white male in the audience, would you please answer? While I take a chocolate break. In the future, it won't really matter anyway because not to be rude, but their sperm count is going to be too low anyway. You're gonna be able to. They won't be able to even get pregnant, child. That's why. Um. So if you're gonna do it, you better do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Before this radiation and this 5G get to popping. Um. What do red bottoms represent? The blood. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They made money evil in the Bible. It says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil," not money itself. The love of money. That means you prioritize it over people's lives. That means you have billions of dollars in the Catholic Church and gold thrones, but yet people still starve on the planet, and you say that you work for God. That's the love of money. Thank you, Eccentric Me channel. I recently started practicing magic in my dreams, and when I'm attacked, how do I enhance this ability? Learn. Knowledge is more powerful than magic. Learn about yourself. I keep telling people this, but I think you have to go through that phase first. The more you learn, the more you understand that all is mental. All is mental. All is mental. So if you can do it in your dreams without doing magic in the physical world, then you've just done it mentally. You see? Bye, Cryptonomics. Thanks for stopping by. See you later. What do I plan for my birthday? Nothing. I don't make my own birthday plans. My kids probably just gonna have a cake and say happy birthday to me and hand me some presents. I really don't celebrate and party anymore. I'm too old and whatever. I really don't do that anymore. I've had so many birthday parties. I don't really get into that. I figure like I'm just happy to be alive another year. Okay. But thanks for asking. Um, the 10% thing offering me, it means you're getting got. It means you're getting robbed. Right. Why don't they target real woke ones anymore? Because they're being watched, darling. That's why. And also because that message will get out. And, the real threats happen on a different level than y'all understand, Uh, right. Hmm. You said, what do I think cops were killing blacks for? To fulfill prophecy, of course. There's prophecies, and until those prophecies have been fulfilled, certain things will not happen. And all those prophecies have to do with frequency, the frequency of the planet. That's just it. When there is enough frequency on a planet that is a certain, amount of anger, mistrust, all those messages go up. So every time a cop killed someone, that message went straight up. And when it got to a certain level, you saw stuff change, right? You saw how quick that weather changed after Obama left office and Trump got up in there. You saw how the clouds disappeared and how they started spraying. You saw how the grass turned crispy and brown. And you saw how crazy the weather got. You saw that. I mean, we just witnessed it, all of us witnessed it over the last 4 years. So it had to happen in order for the frequency to be changed, the veil to be lifted, and for people to be taken seriously. So now that people understand, oh, climate change, oh, they're not saying global warming anymore. They're saying climate change. That means somebody changing the climate. Okay. It doesn't mean the global warming. It doesn't mean that we're causing it by pollution. That means the climate is being changed. It don't mean that it's happening naturally. It means somebody got that climate and they're able to change it. Even in the book of Enoch, it talks about, oh, I saw the machine that changes the weather. I saw the machine that creates the hoarfrost, as they call it. I saw the one that made the wind. I saw that one that made fire. I saw that one that made, rain, da, da, da. Or read the book of Enoch. And so when you get to a certain level, when you get to a certain time period, when the frequencies have shifted and changed, the weather will change. And that means the frequencies are going to be forced to change. And you can't control climate change. It's being done on purpose. And there's nothing you can do about it until you get an understanding as to what to do. And that's it. It will not change. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The water bearer. The water is code for melanin, baby. They're pouring melanin on the earth. The Age of Aquarius, aqua, water. Okay. The Holy Grail, the vessel, the cup. They're pouring melanin on the earth. They're melanating the planet. That's the Age of Aquarius. You know, remember the Kanye West song, We Are Water? We are water. And that's exactly what plasma is. And that's what a soul is. It's the fourth state of matter. First state was a solid liquid, which is ice. Second state is liquid, which is water. Third is the gas, which is like the clouds. Fourth is the plasma, which is like lightning. And that turns into a gamma ray, that turns into cosmic energy, or cosmic ray, which turns into eventually dark plasma, which is water. So the age of Aquarius basically means everybody is about to get melanated. You melanated. Okay. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on Kobe's death? I think I discussed that like last week. Yeah. So Aquarius is the water bearer. Yep. And water is code for melanin. Hmm. That's what it is. If you just read the book of Enoch, I promise you, read the book of Enoch. It's going to tell you everything that's about to go down. Y'all know if y'all just go read it. Um, it talks about how people are going to be just messed up due to all this energy that's coming in, physically as well. Yeah, I know you don't care about the death, but people are just too triggered still. They're not fully paying attention to the whole meaning of it. So I'm not going to go into the death, um, because I don't believe the same way a lot of people do that are still trying to wake up and get this information and da da da. So I just said it was basically the whole purpose of bringing attention to Kobe is to change the frequency of the planet. That's okay. That's all I'm going to say about that because too many people get triggered too easily. They're not ready yet. Mhm. Um. Mhm. CRISPR is going to be the tool to melanate the non-melanated. I'm sure it will be expensive, but science is going to save the. They can't do it. It won't work. It might be synthetic melanin, which has backfired already. It's bad for your organs. It's bad for your immune system as well. So what this is what they would have to do, but they're not willing to do it. Um, yeah, they would have had to start mixing years ago. It will not work because we are not here for real. This melanin here is quantum, which means it does not exist here, which means they only have a copy of it, which means it's not real and it will not work. So they would have to be able to quantumly get you melanin from where they cannot access. So it won't work. Thank you, One Play Five. Synthetic melanin, Prometheus movie. Right. You can't, it cannot be done. It can't be done. I promise you, because it's not here. It's like trying to get a blood sample from that Whitney Houston hologram on the stage. Okay. It's like trying to get a, blood sample from a robot. Once you take it, it's not going to exist anymore because it doesn't exist here. It's quantum here. So you can't, it would never be done. The only way you can do it is through the natural way, the natural be reborn through a Christos, through Christ, through a crystalline being. That's why do you think they put it in the Bible? You got to be reborn through Christ. They don't mean go to church and say I'm reborn through Christ. No, you got to be reborn through a melanated body, and that's all that means. Being reborn through Christ is having offspring with a melanated person, right? Um, so your DNA and all of your, lineage passes through. Water into wine. What do you think it means? It's alchemy. You know, taking something and turning it into something else. Taking one type of person and turning it into another type of person. Hmm. You look like a man. Well, thank you. Is that why you're here? Because you want a man? I'll be a man for you. gear. The reaction of the frequency, we won't fall for it. Mm-hmm. Black represents the element water and mm-hmm. This is a nice comeback. Maybe they come here looking for a man. What is your thought on freezing sperm and eggs? Do what you gotta do. Whatever make you happy. Is that my real hair? Yep, it sure is. Okay. So you unbothered. I love it. Thank you. That's always what the sleep jump to, right? You said right. Not obligated to share. Right. What's your opinion on dreams? Ways to get you to decode why you're dreaming those things. Whenever you dream something, decode the symbols in it. It's your subconscious mind talking to yourself. Wait, do you believe in God, Ashira? What is God? What's your version of God? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand there's different people have different understandings of what God is. Some people believe that they are a part of God. Some people believe there's some old man in the sky judging you. Some people think that they are gods and goddesses. And some people believe in, just a supreme source energy. So, right. Who am I voting for? Myself, baby. Who else do I vote for? I'm voting for me. I know I'm a win. I win every day. Mm-hmm. Right. The only way to be saved. LOL. Right. Gear shit. What? Anyway, so yeah, people know what time it is. That's why they come over to these channels and they come looking around because we aren't on their channel. I'm not. Believe me, there's nothing I can learn. I can go and look, but they're missing a big old chunk of it. They come this close and then they drop off with right to the part you need. The most important part is drop off. So that's why they got to come over here to get the rest of the information. Okay. Your white sister-in-law's father just had a heart attack. Oh no. How old is he? You got my vote. Oh, thank you so much. I'm just trying to say that a lot of people know what time it is. When I say they know what time it is, I mean they know something ain't right. They know the sky don't look like that. They know the clouds aren't supposed to be sprayed, and they know it's not supposed to be this crazy with the weather. They know something is up. They know it's not global warming. A lot of things, and I said this like years ago. I said it years ago. Y'all gotta go back to my old video. Thank you, Eccentric Me channel. What role does DNA play in reincarnation? Whether you get a soul or a spirit, baby. Whether you are trapped in the time loop or able to come and go as you please, like in the Matrix. And a soul requires you melanin, which means tan skin, brown skin, dark skin, red skin, you melanin. People heavily missing with the weather. Yeah, so that whole thing, there's a group of people in charge of the weather. And I told y'all this years ago. I said, y'all are going to see certain countries get affected really bad. And they're going to be majority Caucasian countries. I told y'all that like 1 or 2 years ago. I said, watch. So, you know, you have Australia, you have the UK, you have parts of America that got flooded that never got flooded before. You know, or not recently or as bad. I mean, you're going to have both, but you're going to see things that you've never seen before and affecting certain types of people that you haven't seen affected before. You know, you're going to start to see those heat waves and people just passing out from they can't stand it, and you know, strange diseases breaking out that they're calling whatever, but it's really just radiation, extreme radiation poisoning. But yes, that's what's going on. Like people are just there. Whoever has control over the weather has control over the earth, basically. You know, because you can just end people like that. So, right. So, you know, you have to pay for that. People got to pay for their rain and their clouds, just that, like in their taxes. The states have to pay for their rain and their cloud. Each county, I don't know. Why? It says it in the book of Enoch. In the last days, people will have to pay for their rain. Okay, I remember in 2008, 2017, 2018, all the real weather left. All the real clouds are gone. You know, I took pictures and photos, but now you have to pay for it. And it's kind of like the world's being held hostage, you know, until they give up the throne. The world will be held hostage until they realize and wake up and see what time it is and then act accordingly. So that's basically what's going on. I was. You know, you have people marching around talking about global change, climate change, that's not going to help you. You know, got to do what's right. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. Okay. That's what it means. Chicago had a lot of heat waves. Climate change is a symptom. Yeah. Virginia, weather's good. That's good. Weather's good here too. In Texas. You're not afraid to die, but you're afraid of what's after. Okay. Why do you believe we're in the Matrix? Why and do you believe we're in the Matrix? Now, okay. Read the book of Enoch and then read the Gospel of Paul or something like that. It was taken out the Bible. Basically, it tells you what happens after death. Okay. Consciously, anyway. But think about this for a second. It just depends on your frequency, basically. Everything depends on your frequency. That's all it is. That's why you see like Justin Timberlake and Justin Bieber trying to get in good with the rappers and the singers and stuff, because they want to be spoken for. You know what I mean? Spoken for. So, for example, let's say Justin Timberlake died, and you know his spirit gets out, and then they say, okay, so you know, consciously, okay, so where are you going? You got to go back and reincarnate, or then here comes the soul of like somebody he worked with, whatever. Oh yeah, I know him. He cool. Let him go. You know, He good people, da da da, give him some melanin, give him a soul. You know, maybe he come back light skinned or something. I don't know. But basically, who can vouch for you? Were you a good person on earth? Were you helping those who you were supposed to be helping? Did you know who you were dealing with when you were down there? Um, did you do right by the righteous, basically? Did you do well with these type of people? Did you, blah, 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 blah. So if you have a voucher, which is a person that will vouch for you, who will speak for you, um, you may be able to slide through to the one level and get out of the cycle, maybe. Thank you, highly sensitive sprinkle sprinkle. Right. And so if you read in the book of Enoch, it says those who are followers of Christ. That means they are not Christos, but they follow them and they listen to them and they take their advice and they listen to their message. Those are followers of the Christos. So they wouldn't have you melanin. So if you are a follower of Christ, you would be someone that was learning from them and that was listening to their message and doing what was right by them. You see, so that's what Leonardo DiCaprio is doing. Yep, that's what Joaquin Phoenix is doing. That's what Justin Bieber was trying to do. That's what Justin Timberlake is trying to do. Somebody else gonna hop on board. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I didn't watch The Simpsons yesterday. What happened? Mm-hmm. Your profile pic. Thank you. I appreciate it. 2 Chainz. Yeah, I mean, just go research your scientific history that they don't tell you in history books or in school. You got to do your own research. You said Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, she another one. Whenever you see Caucasian people publicly embracing Black people or Black celebrities, they know what time it is. They're trying to get in. So makes sense, not a church, but listen to self. College was my beginning of awakening because I had world lit in ancient time. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Church is just a metaphor for your temple, which is your body. Long time ago, when they said the priest could only be melanated. There was no such thing as a white priest because they didn't have no connection to the cosmos. That's why when you go to the Catholic Church, you got to go through a priest to have your sins resolved because the priests used to be Black. The priests were the only ones that had the cosmic connection because they had melanin and the other people didn't. Okay, so now if you telling your sins to a white priest, then nothing is happening if you white either. So that's why they have a lot of metaphor about the phones. When people are saying, "Well, you used to call me on my cell phone," and I know when that hotline blings, or you better change that number on the dial. That means change your frequency, and you can't be reached because you don't have the frequency to be reached anymore. You can't pick up on it. If someone was sending a message from the cosmos, but they were only sending it on a frequency that you could not reach, then how could you get the message? And how could you send the message? So all the priests originally were Black, brown, melanated. That's why they wear black. Okay. Right. Now it's just being done as a mockery. It's just a mockery now. You go to a church and they're still taking tithes and offerings, that's a mockery. If you go to a church and, they're the whole thing is a mockery, basically. They're not telling you the truth. Um, if you let someone go into a church who could break down and decode every symbol in there and whatever Bible verses they were going to speak that day, people will get up and leave because they have the truth. They don't need to keep coming back unless they want to learn, unless they keep teaching more truth. Church is never going to give you the truth unless you already know the truth and then you just sit there and decode stuff for fun, but no one else is getting it. Thank you, Jeffrey Bond. Can't thank you enough, at least not yet. Amazing work. We bring you up in another group I'm in. So much love from Detroit. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That was a nice donation. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank y'all for sharing my videos in that group too, or bringing me up. I appreciate that too. People that are trying to get the information. It's okay. It will make sense. I mean, it makes sense. There's nothing that wouldn't make sense about it if they got the science. Somebody went up there with a PowerPoint presentation and gave them the science. They believe it. Okay. Church can be useful for having community and getting connections. That's true. Anything could be used for that, though. It doesn't have to be church, but that's one way, yes. Thank you, CA. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate that. Wow. Y'all are being so generous to me tonight. Thank you. We could destroy the church in 10 minutes. Right. There was somebody who had stood up in church and started asking the pastor questions, and the pastor made him leave because he didn't want to answer the questions. Right. And remember that the church that burned down in Notre Dame? That was a sign right there. It's like, nope, this ain't it. Lightning strikes, whatever, however got burnt. That was prophecy right there, destroying the church. Do I think some pastors know this knowledge? It depends on if they're in any kind of, fraternal orders. They know. They're in a fraternal order, they know for sure. They're just profiting. You got kicked out of 2 churches for asking questions. I'm sorry. Like, Joel Osteen, he know. You think T.G. Jakes knows? I'm sure he knows somewhat. I don't know. I'd have to listen. I think he knows somewhat. I know he knows more than most, yes. Notre is French for our Dame, damnation, Our Lady, our damnation. I think the big pastors know. Yeah. Small pastors probably don't. Big ones know. Joel Osteen is a motivational speaker life coach at this point. He sure is. He might as well just put the Bible down and get out the secret law of attraction book, okay? Just switch it out. Right. Do you believe people born into of in vitro, frozen egg and sperm have a spirit, while those born naturally have a soul? In vitro. I don't. Is it going to be inside of a woman's womb at some point? Mhm. As long as it's inside of a woman's womb at some point, the soul doesn't come in till much later. Right. In the hurricane, he passed people in his yacht. Not holy at all. I remember that. Um, he didn't want to let the people in that church because he knew because it was gonna get messed up. He didn't want his church messed up. But then when he got busted, he had to go let them in. I don't want my church messed up. Hmm. I mean, if you think about it, if you really think about it, like if that was your church, you probably wouldn't want them in there either. Until somebody said, well, you better let them in. You're supposed to be a pastor. Okay, I guess so. You're right. You know. Hmm. I mean, if you are a church, you got to do what's right. Should have just became a motivational speaker. Hmm. The way he blinks a million times. Ah, I went there twice. Um, my one of my nephews was getting baptized there, and I went with him one time to a service. His, with my sister, and then I went another time. Somebody took me there. Um, it was interesting, but very much motivational speaker. Hmm. He said he ain't Noah. Exactly. This ain't the ark. Um, what do you guys know how lucky? Do you guys know how lucky we are to have this knowledge? Yay. Justin and Selena's breakup gave us the most mediocre pop album, at least Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake album with bops. I know, right? I'm like, I was watching this video and it was called Michael Jackson audio, like without, no, this is how you sing with no auto tune. And they were playing Michael Jackson's voice a cappella. And then they would compare it to his voice with auto tune over it, and it actually sounded worse with the auto tune. It sounded better without the auto tune. So his voice was that perfect. They invented auto tune in 1997. And so everything you hear before 1997 did not have auto tune. Those are real singers. Okay. Why do you think the singers look a lot different after 1997? Because you didn't have to know how to sing. Okay. Before 1997, you know. So when they got that auto tune, they could throw anybody up in there. Here, just saying it. The machine will fix it. You gonna be sounding like, what's that dude name? Ice JJ Icefish or whatever. Ice JJ Fish. They could be sounding like Ice JJ Fish and still get a record deal. Because all they gotta do is put that. Don't make fun of the boy. All they gotta do is put that auto tune on. Mm-hmm. How do you know I was out there? Because I know you out there. You always out there. Auto tune even when it's not necessary, right? Do I communicate with whose spirit? Who, Michael Jackson or JJ Fish? JJ Ice JJ Fish. He's still alive. Right. Zap used auto tune. Yep, they weren't. I mean, they didn't use it to fix their vocals. They used it for special effects, and I think they called it something else. But I'm talking about when they used it on a computer synthesizer to fix their what you call it? Right. They used it as an instrument, not to fix what they couldn't do. Yeah, the talk box with the thing hanging out. The straw. You said T-Pain. That wasn't before 1997. I like Janet. I already talked about Rihanna's speech. Sound like a lot like Michael Jackson's speech to me. Do I talk to Michael Jackson? When he come visit me, I'm gonna talk to him. Maybe one day I'll meet him. Okay. You said Rihanna drinks human blood. Why would she need to drink human blood? She got you melanin. We don't have to do that. Right. You said Milli Vanilli. Yeah. You don't have to do that if you have you melanin. That's only for people that don't have it. That want to get some type of connection to the cosmos or whatever. Right. When does the soul enter the body of the baby? Through its breath. When it takes its first breath. I think I discussed this on another video. The child has to have a certain amount of frequency in order for the soul to enter. You know what I'm saying? So through the breath. People just want to hate on Rihanna so bad. I know. Let them hate. You know, teach you how to be chill. Stop caring. They ain't if they're not beneficial, who cares? I mean, if you have something to say and do, then just do it and don't worry about what people think about it. I mean, that's the only way to be. That when he was looking at blood in the boxing match, yep. They were telling you right there. Ooh. Thank you, eccentric me channel, sprinkle. That could be why some rich non-melanated people choose melanated women as surrogates. Maybe they're trying to give their IVF baby a soul, right? Or that's why a lot of entertainers adopt Black children and take them to the doctor to draw blood often. Oh, he's sick. Oh, let's take some blood. Think about it. Who has melanated children? Madonna. Who else? Angelina Jolie. Sandra Bullock. A lot of Steven Spielberg. Girl, his daughter turned to a porn star. Y'all seen that? Steven Spielberg adopted a Black daughter, or she was mixed or something. No, the Kardashians didn't adopt. They had them naturally. So, or the surrogate, yes. Charlize Theron, yep. I know what they're doing with them children. Or they're trying to get them also to vouch for them in the future. Heidi Klum. Tom Cruise. That's his biological son, though. Tom Cruise has that's Tom Cruise's biological son. He just adopted it from Thandie Newton, who's the mother. But y'all didn't know that, did you? Him, sorry, I didn't say it. Yes. Heidi, yep. You remember when I spilled that tea? Yeah, AJ, you've been around for a while. So, you say, what? Girl, go do your research, girl. Tom Cruise, that's his biological son with Thandie Newton. Go do the research. Okay, I'll give y'all the tea once more. During the filming of Interview with the Vampire, when Tom Cruise was, y'all remember Thandie Newton was one of the house slaves. Well, she had become pregnant during that time, and she was married to another man. But I think Tom Cruise was the daddy of the baby. You know, she had been cheating on him, and so she gave birth to that baby and came out looking nothing like her husband. So Tom Cruise stepped in and adopted the baby from her so she could continue on to her career because I think she got divorced from that man. And now Tom Cruise, and I think his name is Connor, um, yes, that's his real son he adopted from the mother who is Tandy Newton. Okay. um, so yeah, looks just like him. Yes, he do. Mhm. Um, Thank you, Ricochet TV. You look beautiful. I have to catch the upload. Thank you, Sprinkle Sprinkle. I appreciate that donation. Thank you. Yeah, catch the upload. I just talk about, about all the people knowing that it's time to, you know, come together, I should say. Do what's right. Get on board. As Rihanna would say, pull up. you know, I think, yeah, there's a picture of Tom Cruise and his son at a basketball game when they're sitting right next to each other. And they have the same hands, the same smile, the same nose, or almost, just gotta go look at, just pull up the images. How to get your soul name? Um, Soul name. Well, if you pick whatever name you want to go by, make sure it's meaningful and means something that you want it to mean. you know, go do some research and like, oh, I want my name to mean something, whatever, and just pick something that is meaningful to you. And like when you name your children, do the same thing if you haven't had kids yet. Name your children meaningful names. hmm Why should your soul have a designation? What's that mean? A designation? Do you think we should choose our names before we come on earth? Your parents choose your name, you know, and sometimes they choose bad names, sometimes they choose good names, sometimes they're, unaware of the names, what names mean. Like I translated someone's name and it meant whore. Ooh, your mama named you a hoe, you know, and they didn't know. So it's very important to research that. Do you think our ancestors live on in us through the DNA? I think we have, but I also think that think about it like water. Just think of it like water. It's just water. It's like an ocean. Eventually, what do they say? They say the water that you drink has gone through this many animals, this many people, been to this many oceans. I mean, whatever. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like water. hmm My dad was very aware when he named me. That's good. Yeah, in our DNA. That's why, without even knowing your parents, you have their mannerisms. How many tattoos do you have? I have one on my arm, and I have 3 stars here. Yes. hmm Your name is Joseph Joe. It means who God adds onto. Yes. What to? What do you think about New World Order? I think it's about something that you don't understand. I mean, if you think about it, they try to make it sound scary, but what is New World Order? Think about it. New World, let's break it down. New World Order. The definitions that they're giving you is not what it means at all. Okay. So think about order in a different context. Think about ordering like you're ordering from a menu. You know, when you order the new world, it means you call for it. You call it into existence. You raise a frequency to create the new world. You're calling in or you're ordering in the new world, the new world order. You're going to order it in. You see? So the donut, the donut Torah shape, fourth dimensional earth. Okay. It has nothing to do with who's going to rule. Blah, blah, blah. There's no way that one thing can rule the entire planet. Would never happen. Too many people here, too many people there. It just means to order in a new frequency. That's it. Right. So they're just ordering in a new frequency. That's the new world order. Mass ritual going on. Women leaving good men for little things. Have you noticed? Good men for little things. Well, I think that a lot of women are fed up with certain things, and if you're not beneficial, then you're detrimental. I think it's that Saturnalian energies. That's that Saturnalian energy. Like either you are beneficial or you are detrimental. And also, at this time, a lot of people are going to separate because they're not on the same frequency anymore. Like some people may be more awake than others. Some people might want to do different things. And right now, they're feeling their frequency and their potential. And so they might want to make a move while the getting is good. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that people leaving each other at this time is already going to be happening anyway. That's what always happens. Like when there's a shift in consciousness and when there's like major things happening, people also leave behind what's no longer beneficial to them. It doesn't mean that person is not beneficial to anybody. It just means not to them. That's it. Mhm. Yeah. What y'all want to know? Y'all, people change. Yeah. People outgrow each other. People move forward. You don't stay in someone's life forever if that's not what you want to do. hmm What's the Antichrist really? Anyone who's against the Christos people. Okay. The Christos is the you melanated. Anyone who's against brown, tan, red, and black people. That's the Antichrist. Anything that keeps you from reaching your full potential as a Christos being. It could be a person, it could be yourself, it could be your own kind. Anyone who's against your rise, baby. So, right. Cirrus Amarube, crystal being. Yes, go research eumelanin. There are crystals in your eumelanin. If you put it under a microscope, there are crystals in there. And that's why they call them Christos, crystalline. Yes, that is how matter is formed on the earth. It is science. It is also spirituality. What is my most profound discovery? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, reading the Emerald Tablets. This has all the science in it, but it's in code. My most profound discovery is how to decode. It opens up a whole nother world. It's just like, oh, this is what they've been hiding from us. And they're right in plain sight, right in all the words in front of your face, but you just have to know how to decode them. So learning to decode is the most profound thing ever. Because in order to understand certain texts, you have to know how to decode. The Great Deception, right? How about a UFO? I feel like once you learn how to decode, you'll kind of know more about UFOs and who they are and what they are. You know, thoughts on holy tablets. I think they said the emerald tablets were made out of that material which crystallizes into matter from thought. I think that's what they call dope. But particles and waves in the quantum realm turn into each other. So from the wave, from a sound wave or a frequency wave, can then turn into particles, which can then materialize, and that's what the crystalline is. That's why if you take a crystal of any type of crystal, you can't label it a solid or a liquid because it's in between. Mm-hmm. What do you learn in the Emerald Tablets that's changing your paradigm? There's just a lot of information in there that you'll probably see in the Bible that was, taken from there. But it's said in a different way. It'll also teach you to look into deeper meanings of things so that you are led on a journey to decode, basically. So you can figure out what it means. Like it uses weird phrases if you're not familiar with them, like children of the sun and children of the earth, and it's like what does that mean, children of the sun? What's the difference between the children of the sun and the children of the earth? Why is he saying there's two type of people? That's number one. So it just piques your questions. It helps you find the right questions to ask. There you go. It leads you to the correct questions to ask that you may not come to on your own, which will then lead you to research and then how to decode whatever you're reading. What is your thoughts on transgender and spirituality? It has a lot to do with quantum physics, and I'll show you. I explained this like 2-3 videos ago, but I didn't use the example of the transgender. Okay. So if you have two sides to something, masculine and feminine, right? And you met in the middle, if this side of your brain is masculine and this side of your brain is feminine, then when they both merge together into this, Christos consciousness, that would represent a union between masculine and feminine. That would be a way that you think, right? It would also be a way that you saw things. It would also be a way that you treated things. It would also be a way in how you reflected yourself upon the world. So I feel that if you only have the outside but not the inside, then it's in vain. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the old days, old days, anyone who was like that was highly spiritual. And it would just come through automatically, like a Michael Jackson or a Prince or something like that. Not outside first with nothing up here, So you would have to be a highly spiritual being for that to be a holy thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's you would, yeah, and it wasn't sexual at all. So it's been, I would say, perverted in a sense in the physical aspect. But in the old days, it was a spiritual, merge of self. It was the alchemical marriage, is what they called it. So the alchemical marriage would be your right and left brain merge to create your Christo's higher consciousness, or the child. And if you notice, like on the Formation album, Beyonce has, you know, I guess Big Frida, her voice saying, "I'm back by popular demand," you know. So it is a spiritual thing. It's not the opposite. But until you make the inside like the outside, you cannot enter into the kingdom. That's what it says in the Gospels of Thomas, and you know, and many other texts. So you have to make sure that if you are that way, you get the inside as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's not sexual. It is just how your brain is working with the masculine and the feminine combined, and how your spirituality. Right. I'm just trying to find a picture for you. Right. Right. It's odd that kids are taking permanent medications. Yeah. If you're doing anything physically, I mean, physically, as long as it's mentally and spiritually first and foremost, like if you don't know yourself on a spiritual level, if you're not binded spiritually and you don't, you're not embracing that aspect of it, then it's in vain, basically. And I have another theory as to why they're also pushing that agenda. Thank you, Ayana, sprinkle, sprinkle. Because a lot of people really wouldn't even be that way if it wasn't pushed in the media so hard. So I'm going to tell you why they're pushing it. They're pushing it to, it's also another experiment to push it to see who can grab a certain consciousness level with that type of merge physically. Hopefully they'll get it spiritually, but it's being pushed to see if they're going to be able to pick up on anything. But see, they forgot one thing. That has to come naturally, as always. It has to be natural. Because think about it, before they were pushing the agenda, it was not very common. It wasn't common. If that's how you were born, that's how you were born. Nobody was going to stop you. Even though, it was looked down upon, nobody was going to stop you from being you. Right. But now that it's being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, they are trying to experiment to see if, you get distracted by the outer and stop focusing on the inner. You know what I'm saying? So if it were to come through you naturally, it would begin within, always. Right. So yeah, I was going to show you this cat chart again. Y'all remember the cat chart? So think of the cat chart the same way. You see how they have these two cats here, and then there's one up here? Well, this cat is neither this one nor that one. It's both. It could go either way. See, this one exists over here. But the black ones, the dead ones, exist on both sides. You see, these exist on all sides. So let's say this is one world and this is another world. Okay. These cats exist over here and over there. But these don't. See? So you can't get melanin from any of those cats. You see what I'm saying? You can't create something from those that aren't there. It's called testing. I can't pronounce this word, but the name of that test is the Scrollinger's cat. It's like being in two places at once. You're not really there, but it seems as though you are. Okay. Just read about that. It's like this book, I always tell people to get it. Quantum Physics in Minutes, one page will give you the whole information just on one topic. So it's very easy and written in layman's terms. Yeah. Time running backwards. Yep. So in the quantum world, time can also run backwards. So do y'all remember when I told y'all about off the wall? Live your life off the wall. This is what it means. So there are some particles that will turn into waves and pass through the wall. And there are some that will not, and they will bounce back. You see? You see how these can't pass through the wall? And these went straight through. Live your life off the wall. That's what Michael Jackson was saying up in there. Like, these cannot get through because their frequency is not strong enough. These particles can turn into waves and pass through like ghost. Okay. So that is, you move so fast it overlaps and goes backwards. I had a dream about so many cats the other night. Melanin has the soul. Melanin has spirit. What about the people who don't have melanin? They gotta get some. This is the thing. This knowledge has been around forever, and the people with no melanin, they knew about it. The people with no melanin knew about it. They just didn't tell everybody about it. See, so I don't know. That's why they're trying to spread all these viruses, trying to see if they can put this melanin in your DNA through a virus, but they can't do it. They thought they were going to be able to do it. I don't know why, but they thought that they were going to be able to do it, but they can't. So ask them why I didn't tell y'all sooner. Maybe this is the time to tell you. Maybe there's 10 years left, and you can create children and whatever with someone with melanin. Where do I get my information? Everywhere. All you got to do is go and research it. Just type it in, Google it, get a book, get a quantum physics book, go to Stanford Brown, go to MIT website and type in the study of melanin, synthetic melanin. Go type in, just go type it in. It's everywhere. It's not hidden anymore. It's in all the ancient texts, Emerald tablets, Book of Enoch. It's in all the science books. It's in quantum physics, regular physics. Let's see what else. Just the study of this will help you understand that there's another level that is unavailable unless you are quantum. So, go learn science. Science is there. Oh, and we also have the earth grids. Earth grids. The earth is also on a frequency. And if you can't match the frequency of the planet, you're not evolving with the planet. And also, things from the cosmos can also change the frequency of the planet, such as gamma rays, gamma ray blasts. When it hits the earth, frequency change. So that's where I get all my information from. Plus, I've been talking about it for several years, and it's just out there if you go and look for it. You had a dream with 3 bobcats. You need to go look that up. Yeah, don't trust Google. That's why you have to go find the published papers from the scientists at MIT, Stanford Brown, different colleges and medical research facilities. They're there. Hmm. Astrophysicists too, you know. Plus, if you know code, you can pick up on a lot of information that's being said without saying it. But wow, I keep thinking about that movie, The Matrix, and they had to keep reincarnated until they were melanated. Hmm. If you want to question me, question science, question UVB radiation, question skin cancer, question the frequency of a melanated person versus a melanated person. Go to a science book, go to a science website, go do all of that. Get a physics book, get a quantum physics book. Go read a book about melanin versus melanin. Go type in MIT study on melanin. EUMELIN. Then go find the book. Go to Amazon.com. I mean, I know your people did you wrong. I'm mad at them too. You know what I'm saying? I'd be mad too. Your people knew about this the whole time. Go question why they didn't tell you. Okay? They knew about this the entire time. Go ask them why they're profusely studying it, trying to bind it to your DNA via viruses, vaccines, and foods, and synthetic melanin injections. Okay? Just go do your research. Don't take my word for it. I don't want you to take anything I say. I want you to go and do the research. Now you got some homework. Okay. Mhm. Go prove me wrong, baby. I promise you, you won't be able to. And I'm not about right or wrong. I'm just trying to give the information for those who need it, because your people ain't giving it to you. Okay, they ain't giving it to you. Yeah, question it, then go research it. That's why you have to question things, to drive you to research it. All you gotta do is go look for the books, go to quantum physics, you'll see it all. Go start to study the properties of melanin down to the crystals. Okay. Who is your people? I don't know who your people are. By the looks of your picture, I don't know. Whoever you listen to, that's your people. Thank you. How would I know I'm spiritually aligned with myself, synchronicities, or what else? Know thyself. That's all. Get all the knowledge you can about yourself and who you are. That's right. If you're vibrating on a higher frequency, if you are understanding things at a rapid pace, and your frequency keeps raising every time you learn something new, you're being activated by, light, the sun, and all that kind of stuff, you'll know. Everything will just line up perfectly. You'll know. Everything will just be, you'll be good. Mm-hmm. Peace. Kitty. The cat just. Meow. You're assuming something without evidence. I'm assuming that you don't like what I'm saying. That's okay. You don't got to like it. Just go and research it. That's all I say. I'm not your research assistant. You ain't paying me. I ain't finna do it for you. I told you where to go find the information. Go look for it. You don't believe me? Go find it yourself. The alchemical marriage. Masculine and the feminine coming together as one mind. Within. If there are papers on his house, there's no evidence because he don't want to go find the evidence. Obviously, you afraid of what he gonna find, or he gonna be like this lady up on here talking about it. Y'all want me to show the video again? Let me show you what your friend said. Hold up. Should I play it again? It's not playing. Darn it. Hi, kitty. Hold on. Y'all remember the video I proved earlier? I listened to earlier. Oh. Let me turn my phone off. They fear the evidence. Yeah, you don't want the evidence, but you don't want to go look for it. Think I'm making stuff up? I would be very creative. Super creative to make up science. Can't make up science. You're close to the golden rays. Let it stare you in the face. You're close. Seek essence. Humble yourself and find it by. Right? The only thing I said she was wrong on is the legitimacy of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Okay, well. Seems like that's where most things I'm not here to prove whether they're legitimate or not. There's quantum physics in it. Good enough. Okay. If you know how to decode it. Okay. Let's see if I can play it now.
We're here with
Emily B.
Emily B. Where are you from, Emily?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. That's awesome. So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Okay. Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's a way for me to, make my legacy continue.
Okay. So, that's what I meant by the title of the video. It's like, people know what time it is. And you saw it before. Kim secured the bag. Yeah. Do you know about the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in December 20th this year? What about it? The planets are lining up, bringing brighter days. They're all waiting for you. Honestly, if I told you the real story of the whole story of what black men and black women were supposed to be doing anyway, y'all wouldn't even believe it and y'all would be mad about it. Thank you, Quinn. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There's a whole story. They broke up and got back together. To get her back, I had to sweat her. Okay? Think about it. Why? Think about the story of Jesus. I came to to give you the Christ or whatever. So I sent Jesus on the earth to save the people. Okay, think about it. The Age of Aquarius, pouring melanin or water on top of the, pouring melanin. You can't absorb everyone else if you're too busy with each other. So that's why, you see. Think about it. For a certain period of time, you couldn't date nobody else. It was illegal. And a long time ago, it wasn't. Then they brought back segregation. Oh no, you can't mix. You can't do that. You can't be with this person. And as soon as those laws were gone, everybody started doing it, mixing. Then the tension became between black woman and black man, and but then who, after everyone is mixed and the same anymore, or then what? It won't even be an issue anymore. There will be no more issue, or there'll still be you melanated people, and there'll still be black people and Africans and whatever, but there's not going to be, that issue of, well, what about this person and that person? Why don't they want to be together? Why are they against each other? Because they're supposed to be like, they made it that way. Okay. They made it that way on purpose. Listen to the Love of My Life song by Erykah Badu. What was that? You be boy and I be girl, and it don't stop until the break of dawn. Woo-ha. See, he said, and then Common says, we broke up. What did he say? We broke up. To get her back, I had to sweat her. There you go. And he's not talking about physical. He's not talking about the person. He's talking about the people. To get her back, I had to sweat her. To get the black woman back, to get the melanated people back, we have to sweat the earth. We have to make it hot. Love of my life. You had to change the weather. That's what Jay-Z says on his song. To get her back, I had to change the weather. You could get her back, but I had to change the weather. Exactly. So that's your jam. Go listen to it. All stuff is coded. All the Erykah Badu stuff is coded. Yes. I don't need or want viewers. I don't wear makeup or teach what's made up. Okay. You sound boring. Why would black people create tech that made the white man make it make sense? Okay, Adam and Eve story. I told this story alone. Hey, kitty. Okay, so the masculine and the feminine come down. The masculine wants to dominate over the feminine, and the feminine like, we're supposed to be equal. No, you can't do that. So the masculine gets mad at the feminine aspect, and she says, peace, I'm just going to do my own thing. You do yours. So he's looking around. He's like, man, I still want a woman, though. Maybe I find one who can't leave. Kind of like me, but who ain't going to leave and go let me dominate over them because, dominant, recessive. Let me take that thing out that allows her to leave. So what did they take out? They removed the what? The melanin. So Adam was black. Eve was not. See, Lilith was the original wife of Adam. Okay? Right. So, hey, kitty. You want to come up here? Not in a sense of being a real person, but that is how they're explaining the genetic experiment biblically. Hmm. They were called Horties. Okay. Yeah, whatever way you want to put it. I try to put it in a biblical way or put it in a scientific way. For example, I don't want you to get out. I don't want you to be communicating with them people, my cosmos. I don't want y'all to. I don't want you to tell on me. You know. So I'm gonna make it so you can't communicate. I'm gonna remove this aspect of you, this cosmic aspect of you. You know. So that's what it was. If you think about the story of Lilith, she went back and found, whoever and got some sprinkle or whatever. But if you can't communicate with the outside, then that person can pretty much dominate over you as, the masculine. Hmm. Yeah, there were people way before Adam and Eve. And this is just the story of how, why and how certain genetic experiments took place. Hmm. We were not all slaves. We were prisoners of war. Um, so that's why Eve, talked about this earlier in another video. That's why Eve, when she had a baby, she said, "Look, I made a man," which means, look, because she was probably mixed, or the child was probably mixed, or you melanated, and so it's like, look, I made a man. There you go. Lilith linked up with Samuel. That's right. That's right. Michael Jackson, Break of Dawn. That's right. So there's a time when you're not supposed to be together as Black man and Black woman, or you're supposed to be at odds in order to give the other people the chance to get some melanin. Then after that time is up, then it's back together as one. Okay, that's it. That's pretty much it. So, hmm how are they able to bring melanated people down? Oh, the sky. They block the sun. Um, there's the magnetosphere over the planet Earth, which blocks the UVB radiation from the solar energy to come in that activates you and brings you to your highest potential. They have electromagnetic frequencies put in place over the Earth. Now they're disrupted because gamma rays, aka cosmic rays, have come to disrupt them because of the people that are awakened and who can actually reach out to the cosmos and send those frequency messages as to what is happening when big celebrities that are highly influential make an impact on a planet, like as far like a big death. Those electromagnetic frequencies become disrupted because of the frequency of the earth changing, because there are so many emotional people at the same time, like when MJ died. That changed the entire frequency of the planet, which started to disrupt the electromagnetosphere. And so when that got disrupted, then all the information started going out and new information started going in. Think about it. All the technology that came after a certain period, like in the 2000s, 2010s, all the new technology. And so you said, yep, the snake. Sit. Hi, kitty. Yeah, I saw the Sabrina series 3. Yep. It lines up with everything, exactly. The serpent, aka the dragon, right? And so the that electromagnetosphere over the planet has been disrupted. So now the ozone, the weather, all that has changed. And so you said the jealous brother, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Decode Beyonce 6-inch heels. 6-inch heels, walk in the club like nobody business. Mm-mm. Make a money. Venus. That's the Venus energy. I think I did a whole video on the Venus energy. I learned a lot from Shira, even got my parents listening to what I say. Wow. None of the characteristics in the Bible were real people, yeah, but spiritual symbols. That's true. Alchemy, astronomy, astrology, to get also genetic experiments, dominant and recessive traits, masculine and feminine brain. And it can descend all the way down into also the physical as well as the spiritual as well as the scientific. So the story is multi-layered, multi-dimensional. See? However, people choose to explain it in order to get people to understand what it is, then to the best of their understanding, is that's how they choose to say it. Right. Hmm. Some people are reptilian descent, yes. Some people are other type of animal descent, and you just have to do your genetic breakdown, and you'll see. Yeah. They were never the first. No, they were a genetic experiment. Hmm. Right, right. So they were not. Yeah, they were never the first, but they were just an experiment. Caroline, is a melanated dusty still high vibration or low? Well, he high physically, baby. Yeah. Who was the who was there in Eden to call these regions the names of Kush? I don't know. Um, whoever was writing it, whoever was writing it down at the time, I'm sure the story will change depending on who is telling the story. Gee. I hear a lot of people's associated Rh negative blood type with reptilian blood, the same because it's my blood type. Yeah. How long have I been on here? Okay. Just Google name meaning. You put your name, and then after that, put name meaning, and then hit search. Go to one of their websites and read what your name means. There were many creations before. Yep, there sure was. Many, many, many. And there'll be many more and many more. Like this ain't it. There's gonna be more after this. Like after this is gone, there'll be a whole nother level, a whole nother, everything. It's just gonna keep going on and on until there's nothing left to take away. You know. You know how they say when the gulf of souls is empty, that's it. Well, That's what it means. I think it's in the Bible, in Revelation or something. That means when there are no more souls to claim from the earth, then that's when the shift happens. Sorry, y'all. Oh no, somebody stole a baby. It says 8-month-old black female. Check local media. Um, mhm, organ harvesting. Atlanteans. Yes, yes, yes. So, the best thing to do is just go do your own research and to your level of understanding until you can get it. You know, you got another one too? Would I smoke a joint with you? No, sir, I don't do drugs. Um, does James call me a shearer now? No. Right. Does that mean you're damn? No. Here's my thing. I'm gonna put myself in the opposite situation. I would be like Kim Kardashian, trying to get me some melanin up in my DNA for my future generations. Okay. Follow, they're very influential. They're doing it for a reason. They're trying to show you what to be doing. Even what's her name got back with her baby daddy. Come on. You think, okay. Does he know how famous I am? I don't think I am famous at all. I don't think I'm famous at all. And I don't think he really cares about fame, famous or what. I've been doing this so long, it's not even a big deal. I like to decode my name, but Google has no answer. It seems like there's no one. What is your name? You got to break it up sometimes. You got to break it up. Is that your real name? Mitharly? Who named you? Who named you? Is that your real name? Tell y'all how to look up stuff. Your name is Aaliyah. Wait. Who don't know how to decode their name? Everybody knows what Aaliyah means. You can look that up. That's too easy. Mitharly. Is that your real name? Like, is that how you even say it? Mm-hmm. That's your name? Okay. I would break it up into 2 syllables. I would take the first half, which is myth. Let's see what that means. It's a variant of might. Okay. Also represents, let's see, the myth born. Hmm? A guy told me my race mixing was set forth by God to stop racism. Could be. Hmm. Okay, so myth, MITH, chiefly Scottish variant of might. Okay. see what it means. So then you have to put it with Arlie. Then combine that, and that's what your name means. See, Arlie. Go. Derived from Hebrew, means pledge or promise. So a mighty pledge or promise is what your name means. Okay? A mighty pledge or promise. You're welcome. Don't say I never did nothing for you. Okay. Y'all can decode your own names through Google. It's very easy. If you have a weird name, break it up into the syllables. That's it. Do the first syllable and then the second syllable separate. Put them together. That's what your name means. If you have a regular name or a name that's already known, just put in your name and then name meaning behind it, and then hit click on the Google search. So what does what mean? Are you damned? I don't know. Are you? I think I don't know. I can't tell you that or not. You have some people that can vouch for you? I don't know. Shoot. You want to come up here? I know you do. You want that attention, don't you? You want this attention. Look at this precious animal. Your parents named you? Cool. Look at this fat belly. She done eat some snacks. Say hi. Wow. See yourself? Aren't you pretty? Oh. What's my opinion on spirit report? The plasma, the fourth state of matter. It's kind of like conscious plasma energies, because your soul, your spirit is electricity, right? So if you are using the elements around you to form into the physical to be seen, you'd have to use light, water, to be seen. So there's a conscious energy that is trying to gather energy to be seen. So it is a soul, spirit, whatever. Right. Yeah, she's sitting in my lap right now. She's so cute. Get on their wave, right? Your name means open spirited, friendly. That's good. So, if you don't even know what your own name means or your children's names mean, there you go. That's how you can start your journey of decoding. Start with names. That's easy. Can you see Velvet? There she goes. um, what do I think about Weinstein being found guilty? If he didn't get found, if he wasn't found guilty, people would have lost all faith in the justice system. Okay, that's why they had to do that to save their own selves. Do you have books on your store? In my online, okay, I have a Dark Realm online occult shop. There are plenty of books. Yes, the link is below. It is the spiritual supply store. Has books, candles, supplies, incense, oils, and all that kind of stuff. Um, yes. You just saw you decoded my name. It was behind on the lines. Oh, okay. Yay. I said, don't ever say I didn't do nothing for you. Yeah. What does it mean if my name means Yahweh is gracious? It means you're gracious. That means you have grace. That means you have grace in your favor. Gracious is also code for gifting of melanin. You know, the promise of your glory, so to say. Sure, give me some of that circle. What? I don't even know what that means. Hey, my last name means protector and of the sun. Oh, and moon. Cool. I always meet weird people or entities. Human encounters are rare. Or y'all must be talking to each other. So, what does Larry mean? Look it up. I gotta do y'all own research. It's like Larry name meaning. See, this is how simple it is. It's like y'all gotta ask the correct question. How do you find out? Look it up. Google it. Ruler of the elves. That's right. And I'm like that parent when you used to ask what stuff means. I don't know. Look it up. Have I made a video about Wuhan virus and 5G? They already got a cure for the coronavirus. That's done. That whole thing is over. It didn't work. They were trying to do an experiment, didn't work. They got the cure. I think we need to help this planet ascend. Yeah. Well, in order to do that, you got to be one. Thank you, Keisha or Kesha. Did I say right? Ashira, decode my name, please. Markeisha. Gamble. Okay, Mar is of the sea. You gotta do Keisha. You have a combination name. Okay, so you have to separate your name into two parts. So you get Mars, like Mary, Mar, woman of the sea, purity, lady of the sea. And then you have Keisha. Let's see, name. Great joy. Okay, so then I'm put in Mary or Mar, like Mark or Mary. Mar is the sea of great joy. There you go. So I'm teaching y'all break it up in two parts. if you have a complicated name. Mhm. There you go. Then you could just research your last name. Sasha, what are you doing? You acting weird. What are you doing? Don't do that. Thank you, Green Melon Sprinkle Sprinkle. Do I think Teal Swan is a fraud? I don't know. I don't watch her channel. I think I've seen a couple of her videos, but I don't know enough to say anything. I won't really call people frauds or not. And, you know, I do know that if you're leaving out the most important part of the information, that you should put it in there. What type of dark crystal or gem is in your ring? Even mind of the nature of the universe and nature of science, law, and intelligence. Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. Go back to the source. Always go back to the source. If someone is not teaching you from the source of the information of which it came, then, and if they can't relate it back to the source, like, ancient Kemet, ancient Sumeria, they can't relate it back to like the ancient texts and give you the real, the beginning, then maybe you just go do that for yourself. It's a self journey. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm never going to discredit anybody. I'm just going to say when they leave the most important part of things out, then what's the point? Thank you, Tamika. Sprinkle, sprinkle. My name means night twin. Ooh, cool. I like that. Night twin. Sound like a show or something. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you say all of this, but then, like I said, you can get knowledge all you like, but unless you have the cosmic connection or the information that allows you to understand how to get the cosmic connection, not what somebody else said, not what she heard on another, I'm not talking about her specifically, but not what someone else heard here or there, because I have heard robot videos repeat a lot of stuff that I say. Those robot videos that sound like robots. So, people are going to say whatever they need to say in order to give messages, but they forget the most important part. It's just the same way as, someone saying, oh, you won free vacation. You won a trip to Disney World, da, 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 da. So you think you get to go to Disney World, but they forgot to tell you, oh, well, you need to get there on your plane ride. You need to book your own hotel. This is just tickets to the park. You see? So you have to understand that there's missing things in a lot of people's information. And knowing all of that stuff is not going to be beneficial unless you have the ability to use it. So, and yeah, I don't say anything bad against anybody. Maybe she don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you only stick to the spiritual and not look into the science aspect of it, which used to be one in alchemy, science and spirituality were one, not two, but one. That's why you have to go back into the science of spirituality. Okay. Mm-hmm. So sad how they try to not let us know ourselves. I know. I was watching one video where that David Wilcock told the audience that he was speaking to that they don't want Black people to know that they have extraterrestrial DNA. He said it straight up. Mm-hmm. You can decode money trees. Kendrick Lamar. I have to listen to it. Yeah. Right. You said Till is not a fraud. Okay. Did she tell you you needed you melanin to get out of the cycle of reincarnation? Okay. If she didn't tell you that, then she needs to tell y'all that. That's all I know. Anybody who's not telling you that, anybody who claims to be a spiritualist and know how to ascend out of the matrix and to the cycle of reincarnation, she need to tell you to do right by the you melanated people, or to be a follower of the Christos beings, or to get with the melanated person to create the melanated offspring. If she's not telling you the scientific aspect of ascension out of the matrix realm into out of the reincarnation cycle, then what exactly, I'm not talking about just her. I'm talking about all people, they're leaving that part out. That's it. Everyone's leaving that part out except the people that are telling it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she can wake people up, but they need to also wake all the way up. You can wake up a little bit, but don't you need the rest of it too? That goes for anybody. I'm not even talking about her. Talk about anyone who's given this much, but not the whole story. Maybe she don't know the whole story. I don't know. I don't watch Housewives or Love and Hip Hop. Sorry. hmm My number all the time. Shira, you do watch TV like Housewives? No, I don't. Sorry. I don't have time to watch silly stuff. Right. You got out of a spiritual apprenticeship because it didn't go into the science. Yep. If it doesn't go into science, don't even bother with it. Because remember what alchemy was. It was science, spirituality, combined, as well as knowledge, philosophy, and all that. They know if they tell the truth, that most of their. Yeah, I mean, that's so true. Like, what does the future look like? I don't know. Like the movie Avatar, I don't know. This is why your spiritual journey evolves and you move on to new teachers when you're ready. That's true. No, I don't do readings. Outside of day culture, you break down the Mummy movie. Which Mummy? There's like 2 movies called The Mummy. A lady did a reading for you. She stayed crying and told me when I would pass away. She asked, going back up to the goddess, what do you think she meant by that? Everybody gonna die, baby. Everybody's gonna pass away. So that part might be true, but when and how, nobody knows. Okay, except for you and your subconscious mind. Like no one can tell you when you're gonna die. All you're gonna do is create that in your own mind and bring it about. That's basically it. If she knew when people was gonna die, do you think she would let people die? Think she would call them up and say, "Hey, you're gonna die tomorrow, so you better stay home. You're gonna get hit by a bus." Excuse me, Pop Smoke. You better not go home tonight. They waiting on you. Okay, if people knew when people were gonna die, they could avoid it, right? And plus, why would you want to know when you were gonna die? And why would she give you that information? Sound like she won't. She was just trying to get a response out of you. That's a good way to mess with people too. I'd be like, what could the worst thing I can tell this person? You gonna die? Right. Just because someone says they're a reader doesn't mean you need to take them seriously. Hmm. She said, when I pass away, she sees me going back to the goddess. Okay, that means you're gonna reincarnate through a woman, which is probably true. When you die, you coming right back through a goddess, a woman. Okay. It may have you coming back, right? Mm. You know, back in the old days, they just use frequencies and tones to heal because when your body is out of balance or out of frequency or out of tune, it gets sick. And also, you can balance your frequency with certain foods, water, as well as light, sun. Da, da, da. Thank you, Ayana. I was raised on the Bible. Is the Bible a good book to decode for someone just starting off? It's easy because you could type in biblical meaning of, and then you can put in the word of whatever you're looking for, like, and it'll probably be easy because you're familiar with it, and especially if you read other books, you'll see where the Bible got most of its things from. Like if you read the Emerald Tablets, if you read a lot of ancient Egyptian text, you'll see where they got a lot of their stories in the Bible from, and you can decode that way as well, comparing the stories. But yeah, it's a good book to decode if that's what you're really wanting to decode. I'd say start with movies or cartoons as well. Symbols, dreams. Um, right. We're all connected anyway. Hmm. Right. Yes, it's weird, but they don't scare. My favorite philosopher is Thoth, of course. Tahuti, aka Tahuti. You literally seen the Grim Reaper? Mhm. Somebody was about to die. Why are we afraid of dark as as children? I wasn't afraid of the dark as a child. I think you're taught to be afraid of the dark. Um, someone said, "How are we connected if I don't know you?" I don't know. Ask them. I was reading someone else's comment when I was saying that. Um, if you see a being standing over you and woke up and its face stepped back 2 times and disappeared, have you ever heard of anything like that? I mean, those type of beings are all around you right now. There's beings over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, over there, but you just can't see them right now in this light spectrum. You know what I'm saying? You're not on the proper frequency to be able to see them. So when you're asleep, your pineal gland produces melatonin, which produces DMT, which gets you on a certain frequency to where you are able to perceive them. Okay. So they've always been there. You just now tuning in. You're just now tuning in. They can come in and go out. They can pop in into this light spectrum. You know how cats can see stuff? You can't. It's the same thing. They can see stuff. Will you do any videos on ancient civilizations like Tartania? No. You can see them as a kid? That's true. Yeah. I see spirits all the time. Used to freak me out. Yeah. Well, once you get used to them, it's not a big deal. If that ancient civilization comes up into what I'm researching, then yes, I will talk about it. Thank you, Green Melon. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What are your thoughts on Aleister Crowley? Thoth? Copy Thoth? I don't know. I really didn't get into him too much. It was just like, why bother when I have the original information? Thank you, Diet Coke Erotica. Hi, Ashira. I know you have great knowledge on this. I hope you can help me. Very much confused. I am Mexican, of Honduran descent. I am light skinned. I get red first and then tan after. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, Green Melon. I don't know. I don't really think anything of Aleister Crowley. I don't follow people that's not beneficial to me. If his information is decent, fine. I'm going to the original stuff, like the Emerald Tablets and, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? To me, it's a perversion of the original stuff. But Honduran and Mexican, okay, you said you get red first and then you tan after. Well, do you look white? Do people mistake you for white? There you go. Is your skin white? There's difference, That's what you have to ask yourself. Are you pheomelanin or you melanin? You melanin, just look up pheomelanin versus you melanin. There's a chart and it will tell you what you are. Okay. Just look on the charts. Look, I'll bring up the chart. Everything's on Google. There's okay. These people here are pheomelanated. If you have this skin tone, pheomelanated. You melanated. Here's another chart. You melanated. So I think right here stops between here. You're between these two. This person is pheomelanated. This person could be pheomelanated or eumelanated, but this person definitely eumelanated. So if you're here, but if you're anywhere over here, you're pheomelanated. So thank you, Cocoa Butter. This is a good chart just to show. So you see the difference? Thank you, Cocoa Butter. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You just have to look at the chart and then look at yourself. I don't know. Yeah. Some Black people incarnate or have incarnated into white bodies, hence why we have to help some of them get out due to. Yeah, but why? They have to have some type of connection to the white body. So, for example, if you died and you wanted to reincarnate back through your great grandchildren or your grandchildren, but your daughter or your granddaughter mixed out their race, and the only DNA connection you had was a melanated grandchild, then yes, you will come back as a white person because your child, grandchild, or whoever mixed out of their melanin. So then you would have to get back into some melanin in order to leave again. You see? You get it? Right. You know, a lot of Jewish people practice this. Every third generation, they'll throw somebody black in there or somebody mixed in there to get that melanin. And then they'll, they keep throwing them in there every once in a while. Try to keep that connection, but some don't. I'm going to go pick up the emerald tablets when I get back to Dallas. Yeah. If you want like a guide that kind of breaks it down scientifically as well, you can get the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, A Beginner's Guide by Billy Carson. This is a good one. And I think it also has the full Emerald Tablets, in there as well. So it gives you the in-between information. How do you get over the fear of the unknown? Go know it. Go research it. Go find it, baby. Getting over fear is learning. Learning until there's no more fear. It's kind of like you don't know what something is like until you learn about it. Oh, I don't want to go outside. I don't know anything about what's that. Oh, this is grass. This is a flower. This is the sun. So if you don't know about something, of course you're going to have fear. You got to learn about the unknown. What is the unknown? Whatever you don't know about. Pick a topic. Learn about it. Ancient civilizations, Atlantis and Lemuria. Those are the dimensions and the continents that existed before this shift, and that's what it will probably go back to once everyone who is supposed to ascend or graduate from this level and go to the next level. Thank you, Connie Bullock. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So it's basically like it existed in the past and the present. So, the story is there were some people who used their power. Thank you, Connie. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There were some people who used their power and they destroyed themselves because they could not wield that power properly because they didn't have what they were supposed to do. They didn't have what it took to wield certain power. So they basically destroyed themselves, or they left, or they scattered around the earth. And that's what Thoth the Atlantean is. He was a descendant from Atlantis. And he left his knowledge with the people of Kim, Egypt. You know how they say Atlantis is rising, the South Pole is melting, there are earth shifts there's stuff under the ocean, the poles are shifting, da, da, da. Well, that also represents, a lot of new lands, a lot of new things are going to be revealed. So Atlantis rising represents, the frequency change of the planet to bring it back. Okay. Okay, so I guess you know what time it is, then tell your children what time it is so they know what time it is so that Thank you, Cocoa Butter. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thanks for being you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I like that little blue thing, maraca thing. Thank you. You know, tell your children what time it is. You know, or go and research it until you are happy with the knowledge that you get, and then go tell other people. I don't know. Hmm. So I'm gonna end this video. I've been on here a little too long, and y'all get the picture. The most of the information is in like the first 30 minutes of the video. Of course, I discuss other things and answer people's questions throughout the video, but most of the answers about they know what time it is in the beginning of the video. Um, right. If y'all are still in fear, that's because y'all don't have enough knowledge. Get to researching, get to learning about yourself and who other people are and what was kept from you. Okay. Okay. There's no way to get out of fear until you learn. There's no other way around it. You can't meditate because as soon as somebody says something, then you have to start all over. But if you know about it, then you don't fear it. See, you know what it is. If you know how to break it down and decode it, and you know it's, oh, that's not what it really means, or oh, this is all that is, or okay, that's the scientific meaning of that. Then you don't have any issues with fear because then you know it, so it's no longer unknown. So just keep searching for knowledge and keep researching and keep reading and keep doing all of that, because if you try to get rid of fear and you just meditate, as soon as a new fear comes up, and you got to go meditate on that fear and meditate on the next fear. The best thing to do is learn, so you don't have to do all that extra stuff. You'll just say, oh, okay, that's no big deal. That's just this. Like when people were all freaking out, what's the coronavirus? That's just them people trying to merge you melanin with VO melanin. They got to do it through the virus or a vaccine. Okay, I already knew that because I've been researching. I've already found that paper, posted it up in the community section on how they would try to merge U melanin into pheomelanin. So no, never was scared of the coronavirus because it was just U melanin. Okay, that's why no Black people walking around with coronavirus. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.